to the world we dream about and the one we live in now. Hi, Juli.a.strology here. Today I wanted to talk about Olivia Rodrigo and analyze her birth chart and her lyrics. I've done two other videos like this where I did like a celebrity chart. One was Jeanette McCurdy and one was John Paul Brammer. I just went through their books and I didn't like go through extra like interviews with them, podcast appearances. Jeanette McCurdy has her own podcast. I didn't use that. I didn't use any like tweets. I just used like the piece of art that they put out, like Jeanette McCurdy's book. I'm glad my mom died, and then John Paul Brammer's was called how to come out how to come out in a Walmart parking lot and other life lessons or something. I probably got that wrong. But I'm gonna do something similar today with Olivia Rodrigo's. She didn't write a book as far as I know. She did take a poetry class, but that's not gonna come up. Because we're just gonna talk about, I mean, I might like talk about stuff that I've seen in like seen her say in interviews, but I'm not gonna be like posting like clips and saying like, oh, on this day she started acting in this TV show, and on this day, and that's like this transit, whatever. I'm just going to talk about how the lyrics in her songs show up in her birth chart. That's it. um, or that's my goal. I'm probably gonna talk about other things as well. And another thing that I was gonna say before I started this is just it's like stream of conscious. I don't have anything scripted. I looked at her birth chart before a couple of times, but I haven't like sat down. Like I wrote out like she has her ascendant in Capricorn. I'm just gonna go through all of her placements for us. Let's do this. Okay, so she has her ascendant in Capricorn. Um, it's actually at 0 degrees. So her birth time that I have on, I'm using astro-charts.com. Her birth time is February 20th, 2003, 3 a.m. It's 3 o'clock exactly a.m., which seems weird. And then it says birth time accuracy excellent. So I'm like, and it's at 0 degrees Capricorn, so I'm like suspicious. I'm like, if she was born like even maybe a minute earlier, she would be a Sagittarius rising. And I use whole sign houses, which that changes the entire chart. So if she were here with me, and I was like talking to her, she like scheduled a birth chart reading and was like paying for it, I would say, hey, there's a chance you could be like a Sagittarius rising, and I'd probably like go through the chart with her. I did that when I read my dad's birth chart for his birthday one year, last year, not like 2024, his birthday. So that's on my channel if you want to watch it, but that's the kind of the process that I would go through with her if she were here and like paid me to do this. Just to make sure that I was looking at the right chart. But she's not here, and I don't want to make this video longer than it has to be. So I'm just gonna assume that this is right and go from there. And I don't know her, so I can't like call her and ask her like, do you think because in traditional like Hellenistic astrology, for example, there's some like um little shortcuts that you can use when you're looking at a birth chart. Like if you look at the sect of the chart, so like where's the sun? Is the sun above the horizon or below the horizon? So do you have a day chart or a night chart? If you have a day chart, then Jupiter is most likely going to be like your best planet, and then Mars is most likely going to be your worst planet. And then if you have a night chart, it's going to be Saturn is the worst planet, and Venus is the best planet. And then like the other, like in a day chart, Venus is still good, but not as good as Jupiter. And then Saturn would still be bad, but not as bad as Mars. Like it would be more um, like overcomable challenges, where like if you just put in a lot of effort you can get through it, um, versus like Saturn in a day chart versus Saturn in a night chart would be just like everything, like everyone you love is dying, and like you lose everything, and it's just like the worst thing that could ever happen to anyone. um like that's kind of like a Saturn return thing for like Saturn in a night chart. Okay. So if she were here, I would ask her like, "Oh, like if you're a Sagittarius rising, that would put Mars in your first house, versus like Capricorn rising would put in your 12th house, and ask her like which area of her life she thinks is like maybe worse. But that's Mars. She has a night chart. I still didn't go over all of her placements anyway. I'm still on the ascendant technically. But yeah, she does that. She has a night chart, so I would ask probably more about Saturn and Venus. Saturn, she has Saturn in Gemini, so I would say, is that in your seventh house or in your sixth house? Which, um, then again, if you're looking at this in a different house system, it doesn't make that big of a difference if the ascendant's off by 1 degree, even if it's in a different sign. You might just say like, oh, well, you might have different like characteristics. Like to like if somebody first meets you, they might get a different impression, but like most like the other planets would be in the same houses, you know? I mean, she has some that are like pretty close to the cusp. Like her moon, at this 3 a.m. time is right, like 1 degree away from her midheaven. So it might change from like the ninth house to the 10th house. Well, I guess if her ascendant was off, it'd be moving back a degree. So yeah, everything would pretty much be in the same sign. So it wouldn't make that big of a difference if you use a different house system. So yeah, there's like some systems where it wouldn't make that big of a difference, so I don't think I would spend too much time on it. We've already spent enough time on it. So just going through the placements, I'm gonna just go like clockwise. So her ascendant is in Capricorn, and then she has Chiron in Capricorn, Venus in Capricorn. Then Aquarius, she has Mercury, Neptune, Uranus, and then it looks like her sun is in Pisces. Let me just double check. Yeah, sun at 1 degree Pisces. It's very close to the cusp. Nothing in Aries, nothing in Taurus. Then she has her North Node in Gemini, Saturn in Gemini, nothing in Cancer, Jupiter in Leo, nothing in Virgo, Moon conjunct midheaven in Libra in the 10th house, Scorpio's empty, Sagittarius has Pluto and Mars. Okay, so just like from those placements, I would say she's a Capricorn rising. So Saturn is gonna be her chart ruler unless she's a Sagittarius rising. So just because of the like uncertainty, I might not like focus so much on that. I'll say Saturn is in Gemini in her fifth house according to the 3 a.m. time. If yeah, so if she's a Capricorn rising, then she has the ruler of her ascendant in her sixth house. And she's a very hard worker. Just this little description down here on astro-charts.com. It says she was born in 2003. She's an actress, a singer, and a songwriter. She's known for her roles as Paige Olvera on the Disney Channel series Bizarre, which I am too old to have. I've never even heard of it, to be honest. And then she was Nini Salazar Roberts on the High School Musical, the musical, the series, or whatever. Too old for that too. It's like whatever. But then driver's license came out, and then I didn't hear the song. I was on like the guitar tabs website trying to learn other songs. Like that was one that came up that was like really popular, and I was like, I guess I should listen to this because like everyone, this is like the most popular like song that people are learning on guitar right now. So yeah, I was like, okay, that's pretty good. And then yeah, I'm a huge fan. um so yeah, just like one day I was listening to her music outside, singing it, like screaming it, annoying my neighbors. And I just like decided to look up her birth chart, and I saw the Saturn, yeah, Capricorn rising, with Saturn in Gemini, and I just immediately thought of like some of her songs, like The Grudge, I think. That's like one of the, yeah, I think that's the last one on Guts. But it's like kind of a sad one, and she's like I'll get into the lyrics of it later, but like I just immediately thought of that, and I was like, that's so Saturnian. Like I definitely see her as a Capricorn rising. um well, I've been like debating it this. I'm like, she could be a Sagittarius, but like, yeah, I definitely can see with that. And like, she's very like mature. She's a hard worker. She's been like working for. She's already been on like 2 TV shows, like as a child star. I don't know if she was like the star. I like I said, I haven't seen the shows, but she was still like a child actress, like working. And so like Capricorn rising is already like, I feel like I don't want to generalize, but most Capricorn, every single Capricorn rising in the world, um, I feel like it's common for Capricorn rising to have like to be more mature as a child when they're children. Um they kind of take on more responsibility. And I don't know that much about like her home life or like her parents or anything. I'm assuming that they were like supportive of her acting career, but I mean, I probably would have assumed that about Jeanette McCurdy before reading her book, and then to find out it was like her mom who wanted to be an actress and then like push that onto Jeanette, even though Jeanette didn't want that or didn't like it really. Um, it was just kind of like an eye opener. So like I don't want to pretend I know anything about like why she was an actress. Like, is it her dream? Was it her parents? Did she feel that there was like some financial pressure? Like if she stopped acting, like her family wouldn't make it or something. I don't know. Um, but yeah, Capricorn risings tend to be like children who are more mature than the other children and take on more responsibility. And then I feel like as they get older, they tend to like um, realize like, why am I doing all this? Like I don't need to keep this up all the time, and they kind of like let it go and like become more childish as they're older. And then so like having like a child star, like an actress as a child, and then yeah, she's just like a hard worker. The sixth house is like um routine, like, well, I feel like the third house is things that you do every day, but I feel like sixth house is more like routines, like things you do maybe weekly, like kind of chores, um and also like a job. Like if you're working a job and you're like the subordinate, that's like a sixth house position, whereas like if you're the boss, that's the 10th house. But like most people have people, I wouldn't say most because like base the pyramid has the most at the bottom, but like a lot of people will be in a position where they have subordinates and are the boss of somebody. So like that's how the sixth house would be like the way that she shows up in a job, and then also like how she would like treat her, like the people who are beneath her, I guess. And then yeah, the 10th house would be um okay, like if she, yeah, if she's a boss, how she deals with her boss, stuff like that. um I don't know her I just watched not just, but like, yeah, I watched that stupid documentary about Dan Schneider or whatever. Like, hate everything. That I hate when people are like, "Oh, this ruined my childhood," and it's like a picture of a Disney princess like smoking weed or something. Like, this is ruining my childhood. And it's like, who cares? That like really ruined my childhood. Um, what's it called? Quiet on Set. I couldn't think of it, but yeah, it just like that was horrible. I wish we didn't live in a world with things where things like that happened, but we do, and those terrible people keep doing things, and so I'm gonna do things too. Okay. I gotta make videos, otherwise they win. You know what I mean? Okay, so yeah, let's get in one of the other. Okay, so again, just based on her birth chart, looking at, just I was curious, what's her seventh house? She sings a lot about relationships. And it's like, okay, Cancer seventh house. So yeah, she has Cancer seventh house, and then Cancer is ruled by the moon. She has her moon in Libra conjunct the midheaven, and I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my god, because she's very famous for singing about relationships. Like the seventh house is relationships, ruled by Cancer, or her seventh house is Cancer, and it's ruled by the moon, which is in the 10th house in Libra. Libra's the sign ruled, one of the signs ruled by Venus. And Venus rules things like the voice, vocal cords. Taurus are all kind of related, and then Libra is like music and like things like that. And she's a songwriter writing about relationships, and she's like very famous, and like it's just like, oh my gosh, it all makes sense. So I wanted to go through like song by song and talk about like which lyrics like I see represented in her chart. And again, this isn't like scripted or anything. I have the lyrics up in front of me, and I'm just gonna go through like read them. But yeah, and then another thing is like she sings a lot about love and relationships, but it's not most of the time, like there's like one example I can think of, and it's not even like a real song on the album. It's like an like extra, like on the deluxe version. You know what I mean? The So American. I think like he says I'm so American. I think I'm gonna marry him. That's like the only example of like an actual like love song. Um, from her, and most of the time it's like heartbreak, like a man like betraying her and like lying and like being sneaky behind her back. And so I'm like, okay, that's definitely like Mars and Pluto in the 12th house. Because yeah, Mars is, it's a night chart. So the idea there with the night chart thing is like Mars is like a hot planet, and so during the day it's like even hotter, and Saturn's a cold planet, so at night it's like even colder. So like during the day Mars is like even worse, and at night Saturn's like just really really so cold and terrible. It's like unbearable. But then like if you have it switched, if you have like if you're born during the day, then Saturn, it's it a little bit warmer than it would be otherwise, and then Mars, if you're born at night, is a little bit colder. It cools off a little, so it's like a little bit. So yeah, she was born at night, so she has Mars in the 12th house, which isn't the worst planet. It's like the second worst planet. So it's like, yeah, it kind of sucks that like these guys keep like I know that she's been in two relationships for sure, and one of them, I'm assuming most of the album Sour is about the first guy. Yeah, I'm assuming most of Sour is about like one guy, and most of Guts is about another guy, but I could be wrong. I thought that like Taylor Swift's album, like more song, like she really has like one song about like one guy, and then it's like an album of like a bunch of different guys. Which is fine. I'm not trying to like slut shame her. I'm just saying like I things aren't always the way that I expect them to be. You know what I mean? Um, speaking of Taylor Swift, let me know if you want to see another video like this about another artist. Obviously, if I don't like them, then I'm not gonna do it. But like, if you want to see like Chapel Roan or something, um, love Chapel Roan. I would love to do a video like this for her. I think we didn't have like a very accurate birth time for her, so I'm not sure. But I was thinking about like say when I was thinking about saying that, I was gonna say I could do a Taylor Swift one, but like if I did a Taylor Swift lyric analysis, I think it would be like a Gaylor video. Be like, actually it says here, the shape of your body, it's new. The feeling I got, it's new, the shape of your body, it's blue. The feeling I got, and it's ooh, whoa, whoa. Like that's she's gay. She's gay. She just said that she's gay. It's new, the shape of your body. That means she's fucking someone with a vagina and boobs for the first time. Anyway, um, so yeah, probably wouldn't do this for Taylor Swift because I just like go into and I could do that for Olivia Rodrigo too, to be honest, but we'll get there. So yeah, that's enough about her birth chart. I mean, aside from okay, then Venus and Capricorn, in the first house conjunct Chiron, where like Chiron is the wounded healer and Venus is like the ruler of singing and music and stuff. So it's like she sings again about like heartbreak, these like very painful situations, but then like the music is like a tool. Like I've definitely like when I got jumped on Valentine's Day, I was like singing along to her songs, like screaming them in the car on the way to work and stuff. So like it's definitely healing, but like I'm sure that like it was very painful to go through, but like she definitely turned the heartbreak into something better. Okay. So from the first album, we have the album Sour. Okay. The first song is called Brutal. She says, I want it to be like messy. Um, yeah, just so that's the first thing that we hear from her is I want it to be like messy. And it's like very very Capricorn rising to me because it's just saying off the top, like that's our first introduction to her. And so I'm thinking like ascendant, right? So that's very Capricorn rising to me because she wants it to be like messy. Like it's very Capricornian to like just not like you have to like break the rule. You have to learn the rules to know how to break them. Do you know what I mean? Like you have to like make the song and make it like sound good and then make it messy from there. You have to like build the structure first and then like mess it up, you know? So I was like, okay, that's funny. Okay. I'm so insecure, I think, that I'll die before I drink. She does have Jupiter in Leo in the eighth house. The eighth house is often associated with death. It's debated. Some people say like seventh house, some people say fourth house. But to me, like eighth house is like inheritance. And so, like, I don't know, it just makes sense for like death to go there too. Um, but I think like if you really were looking for death in somebody's chart, you would look at all of them, but and like see how the rulers of those planets interact and stuff. But so yeah, just like an offhand comment about death, like I think I'm gonna die young is like Jupiter in the eighth house to me. Um, I mean, I don't think that's uncommon, but like people thinking they're gonna die young. I think it's capitalism. Anyway, let's see. I'm so caught up in the news of who likes me and who hates you. And I'm so tired that I might quit my job, start a new life. And they'd all be so disappointed because who am I if not exploited? That's another like chart ruler, Capricorn rising, Saturn in the seventh house. Yeah, she's like 17. She says 17 later on in the song. But yeah, she's 17 and she's like, I'm so tired that I might like quit my job, start a new life. Like a lot of people would tell you that at 17 you haven't even your life hasn't even started. So she's like, but I mean, again, she's been working on various shows and like um all this stuff since she was a kid. But yeah, she's so already at only 17, which we don't know yet, but I know, so I'm gonna talk about it. Feel like if this was a good analysis, I would go into it being like, I don't know anything else about her, except what she's told me so far. But okay, it's coming up in a few lines. So it's the next line. Who am I if not exploited? And I'm so sick of 17. So there we go. Now I can talk about her being 17. She's only 17 and she's already thinking about quitting her job, starting a new life. Again, her life hasn't even started. Um, and she's like already like famous and like, you know. But again with like Saturn in the sixth house, it's like the daily like grind kind of work and like hard work with Saturn there. So yeah, I can imagine her already being tired and like feeling exploited for sure. Um and like also with the moon in the 10th house, that's like her physical body. Like she's like the 10th houses are career and public image, public reputation, and it's like as an actress, it's her physical body that's being like shown like exploited basically. She's a child and there's these like Disney executives exploiting her physical body to make money. Um so yeah, I'm not trying to say like she's only 17. She's not really exploited. That's not that's definitely not where I'm coming from. Um but yeah, okay. Where's my fucking teenage dream? If someone tells me one more time, enjoy your youth, I'm gonna cry. So again, that's like Capricorn. I'm very focused on the Capricorn rising for this because it's just like so prominent, but because it's a rising sign. But yeah, just where's my teenage dream? That's like the Capricornian rising tendency to like be more mature than their like peers. Um to they're like the old souls, you know? Um and so like not yeah, like and if you're working on a TV show, you're probably like not able to like hang out with your friends and like she probably wasn't going to school necessarily like they have on-set teachers for kids. So yeah, she probably didn't have like a typical not probably, she definitely didn't have a typical childhood. So I can imagine her being like, where's my teenage dream? Like I'm working and like I don't have other people like around me my age really. I mean, I guess if she's on a Disney show, she probably does, but Anyway, I don't stick up for myself. I'm anxious and nothing can help. I wish I'd done this before and I wish people like me more. That feels very okay. So the 12th house in what did I say already? It's like I think I said hidden enemies. I don't know if I mentioned that word. So yeah, the 12th house is like betrayal, it's hidden enemies, but it can also be like self-sabotage where like you are your own hidden enemy and like you don't notice it. Um so like not sticking up for herself, she's anxious and nothing can help. It sounds like a Pluto, especially Pluto conjunct Mars, but like Pluto in the 12th house is like I could like it's like mental health, 12th house can be like mental health issues um and just like yeah, just isolation from society, anything like any isolation, whether like voluntary or involuntary. So it could be like hospitals, if you're like sick with something like cancer where you're like going to chemo, you can't really like get up and like participate, you're like bedridden, stuck in a hospital. That's 12th house. It could also be like rehabs or like prisons, jails, things like that where you're again isolated from society. So like Pluto in the 12th house, just being like so anxious that nothing could help and like not sticking up for yourself, being like self-sabotaging. Like she's so anxious that like um it it's not necessarily like she doesn't stick up for herself because she's anxious. Just they're just two lines that are next to each other, but like I could see her just being like so anxious that she feels like if she sticks up for herself, something bad's gonna happen. I wish I'd done this before. It's like I don't know, just very Saturnian to me, of like wanting to like know, like I wish I'd done this before. I wish I knew exactly what was gonna happen and I could like plan for everything and like just yeah, just very Capricornian. All I did was try my best. Is the kind of things I get. Unrelentlessly upset. They say these are the golden years, but I wish I could disappear. Ego crush is so severe. God, it's brutal out here. So yeah, that's like ego crush reminds me of like okay, so she has the sun in Pisces and Jupiter in Leo. The sun is the ruler of Leo and Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces. So the sun in Pisces rules Jupiter in Leo, which rules the sun in Pisces, which rules Jupiter in Leo. So there's like this it's called mutual reception. Technically, they have to be like applying to an aspect for it to be mutual reception, depending on who you ask, I think. Um, but yeah, there's, I mean, the sun's at 1 degree and Jupiter's at like a couple more degrees than that. 10 degrees. So it's they're the sun is applying and Jupiter is retrograde, so it's like they're technically mutually applying to it, but they're applying to a minor aspect or like it wouldn't be a traditional Ptolemaic aspect. It's an inconjunct of 150-degree angle is what they would be applying to. But yeah, they're still in each other's signs, and so they're still connected. And I think like ego crush is so severe. It's just like I don't like so the sun is our ego, and then Pisces is kind of like the all-encompassing like oneness of everything, like the primordial soup um that we all came from and we will all return to. And so like I feel like people with the sun in Pisces, I'm my sun's in Virgo, but I'm an Aquarius rising, which is ruled by Saturn, and so I have my chart ruler Saturn in Pisces. So I like kind of get it. But like I feel like people with the sun in Pisces are more aware of that kind of like we're all in this together, if you will. And so like with and then the sun in or Jupiter and Leo, I feel like Leo is the sign that's ruled by the sun, and it's very like I think the stereotype about Leo is that they're selfish. And as a Virgo with a little sister who is a Leo, no, I'm just kidding. Like I super agree. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so Leo is like I think of Leo as a performer, like they want to be on stage, they want to be an actor, they want to be seen. They want to be in the spotlight. And especially like with the moon in Leo, because the sun like creates its own light, but then the moon in Leo needs other light to reflect. So like the moon in Leo, for the most, like is the most like the sign that wants the most attention, I think, or like they crave it the most. But that's just my opinion. I don't have that, and neither does Olivia Rodrigo. So anyway, um, yeah, I was just saying like the ego crush is so severe. Is like Pisces Sun ruled by Leo, Jupiter ruled by Pisces Sun. Okay, and then like yeah, like I feel like no one wants me. I hate the way I'm perceived. Um, so yeah, with like Capricorn rising, but Saturn in Gemini. Gemini is another house. It's like an inconjunct aspect. So, like from the ascendant, you can't see the chart ruler. So the ascendant is like what people see when they see you, and then if your chart ruler or like your sun or your moon is invisible in an invisible house, like I get the feeling that like you would feel like other people don't really get you. Like you can sit there and talk to somebody and then they just kind of like don't take like they're just somewhere else while you're talking to them and they don't really like take in what you were saying or they just don't really get it. And so like I hate the way I'm perceived. Like I only have two real friends. Like she's just like nobody really sees the real her. Which is like the chart ruler Saturn and Gemini. Um and then yeah, the sun is in a house that's visible, the moon's in a house that's visible. So like I got like her physical body, but that's like in the 10th house where it's like everybody feel like there's probably a lot of people who feel like they own her and I don't want to contribute to that and like use a bunch of like videos of her in this video to like get people to watch it or something. I'm like using a child's like image to like promote my own like I don't know, it just feels weird. But I feel like a lot of people would just yeah, feel like they own like especially like young people who like grew up watching her probably feel like entitled to her. Like if they met her, they'd probably feel entitled to like a hug, which is like kind of a violation of like her physical body and space. Okay, so that's brutal. And I'm not gonna keep every single lyric in. I'm not going through every single one because some of them are like repetitive. Like she just talks about broken ego again. Okay, so this is next up we have Traitor. I actually did a cover of Traitor on my other channel. It's like ooh 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 ah 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 ah. I'm just kidding. So the lyrics start brown guilty eyes and little white lies. Yeah, I played dumb, but I always knew that you talked to her, maybe did even worse. I kept quiet so I could keep you. Again, that's very like 12th house to me. Like, um, the person she's seeing is like lying to her, seeing somebody else, like starting to talk to somebody else. And she knows it and she knows something's wrong and she doesn't say anything. So it's like this other person is supposed who's supposed to be her partner, is kind of like a hidden enemy in a way where he's like betraying her and like lying about it, but she has that like intuition, she knows, and she still like doesn't do anything about it, so she's like now it becomes her betraying herself. So yeah, 12th house energy, self-betrayal, self-sabotage. Ain't it funny how you ran to her the second that we called it quits? Ain't it funny how you said you were friends? Well, it sure as hell don't look like it. And I guess it's also relevant that it's Mars in the 12th house because Mars is a planet about like sexuality. Like if you're doing a relationship reading for someone, you look at like their Venus and their Mars and their 7th house, probably their 5th house, whatever. But yeah, Mars is like definitely like I think it's what we take action toward, like what we like Venus is like what we're attracted to, or like who we attract into our lives. So if you're just like a really like hot person, you can like um get people like attract people and like have them hit on you and stuff, but then Mars would be like what you go after, like what who are you gonna go hit on, flirt with, ask out, whatever. So it's like yeah, somebody betraying her like in a specifically like sexual way too. That's relevant. So yeah, you betrayed me, 12th house. And I know that you'll never feel sorry for the way I hurt. Yeah, you talked to her when we were together, loved you at your worst. That didn't matter. It took you 2 weeks to go off and date her. Guess you didn't cheat. You're still a traitor. Yeah, so again, this is like more 12th house. Just like, and then again, like Capricorn in the first house, like, sorry, I'm gonna not go further down there. Okay. Um, verse 2. Now you bring her around just to shut me down, show her off like she's a new trophy. And I know if you were true, there's no damn way that you could fall in love with somebody that quickly. Let's see, what houses is Mars ruling? Mars is ruling her one, two, three, four, her fourth house and her 11th house. Okay. That's not really so fourth house is like home and living situation. So it's like if she was living with somebody. I don't know if she like moved in with these guys or what, but and then the 11th house is like friends and stuff. So like there was that one guy, we haven't gotten there yet, but he's like the other guy hits on all our friends. Ain't it funny, all the twisted games, all the questions you used to avoid. Ain't it funny, remember I brought her up and you told me I was paranoid. Yeah, that's like again, same. This song's probably mostly gonna be, it's called Traitor. It's probably mostly gonna be 12th house. But yeah, like more specifically, like Pluto is like the twisted games. Um, like Pluto is it brings up the things that are like buried. And so it's like there's probably some issue with her parents. I don't want to speculate. Um, but yeah, because we tend to like repeat relationship issues that we see our parents playing out. Yeah. So all the twisted games. It's not like I don't know, twisted. Twisted is very Plutonian to me. I don't have any evidence for that. It just feels like it should be. Yeah, avoiding questions, and then telling her she's paranoid. Paranoia is very like Pluto in the 12th house to me. Like, you're just like thinking so intensely about like things that aren't real and it's like sabotaging yourself. But like um she's not actually paranoid in this. She's right and he's telling her that she's paranoid. He's lying to her cuz he sucks. Anyway, yeah. And then oh, and then her moon is square. Her moon in Libra is square the Venus Chiron conjunction in Capricorn, so it's like there's tension between her public image and like her songs, her music, and like yeah, her actual like real life relationships. Because I'm sure like she would I'm not gonna speak for her. I'll speak for myself. But I got jumped on Valentine's Day, and I did write music about it, and I'm like very proud of it. And it was like a journey that I'm like glad that I went on. But like part of me, like the day I released it, was Valentine's Day, and I went on Instagram and I made a post about like saying that I released the music, and then I was seeing like all these other people posting about their like relationships, and like there's like I was really proud of myself, but I was also like I wish I was in love. You know, like I would have rather have just like been in love than have to do this. So I'm not gonna say like Olivia Rodrigo thinks that. I'm sure like she's very happy with like her music and her career. Um, but yeah, I was just like if I could have chosen, like, would you rather have like a happy, healthy relationship or like a guy dump you on Valentine's Day and then but you get to write music about it? It's like, I don't know. So maybe she feels that way, but I don't know. Okay, so again, you betrayed me. I know that you'll never feel sorry. Um, talked to her while we were together, loved you at your worst, that didn't matter. Took you 2 weeks to go off and date her. You didn't cheat, but you're still a traitor. God, I wish that you had thought this through before I went and fell in love with you. Okay, yeah, I think like I wish that you had thought this through before I fell in love with you. Love isn't something that you think through before like it just happens. And then but like to a Capricorn to a Capricorn Venus, it's like you couldn't have thought about this before like You let me fall for you. Like, so that's traitor. Next up, we have driver's license. The song that started it all. So yeah, got my driver's license last week. When I think of cars, I usually think of Mars. They rhyme. Cars go fast. Mars likes to go fast. But other people, like when I was taking Chris Brennan's horary astrology class, they were talking about cars and they said it was like Mercury, because Mercury's like the third house, Gemini, daily transportation. Um, like yeah, just how do you get around your neighborhood? A car. So, I'm not really sure. I haven't thought about this before. So Mercury and Mars could both be related to cars, in my opinion. And then also Uranus, because Uranus is like technological advancements, you know? And so like I do see she has like her sun in Pisces conjunct Uranus at the end of Aquarius. And so she, like that was like her first big like sure she was an actress on other shows, but this was like her own song that she wrote and like she worked on and this like yeah, it's like related to so like sun conjunct Uranus is kind of funny to me there. Um so yeah, got my driver's license last week just like we always talked about. Um let's see, Mercury conjunct Neptune maybe because like talking communication Mercury and then they always talked about this like fantasy of like when she would get her driver's license and then she could go visit him because they were so in love and he just wanted to like spend time with her. But today I drove through the suburbs crying because you weren't around, fucking asshole. Where were you? Where is he? He's probably with that blonde girl that she always talked about. What? Who always made her doubt. He's probably with that blonde girl who always made me doubt. She's so much older. This was funny to me. She's so much older than me. She's everything I'm insecure about because like for me, the guy who dumped me on Valentine's Day dumped me for a younger woman. So it's like to me it was like, oh my gosh, like I'm too old. And he's older than me. So like I was like, that's what the heck? How are you gonna make me feel like I'm too old for you when you're older than me? Um, but yeah, so that just I was like, she's older than you and you're upset about that? Wow, you're gonna get older. Just calm down. Like I'll never be younger again. Um, but like people tell me I look young all the time. I'm Saturn ruled too. I'm not worried about it, but I was just like it was just like something that like I'm really not upset about it, but just when I would listen to it at the time, I was like so much older than me, you know what I mean? Always made it out. She's everything I'm insecure about. I don't know what I would where I would put that actually. Yeah, today I drove through the suburbs because how could I ever love someone else? Oh, and then like so her third house, whether it's Mercury or Mars, cars would be like a third house topic because it's like transportation, like daily. Like most people use their cars every day. Unfortunately, I wish we didn't have cars. I wish we had reliable public transportation that was like sustainable and like safer and like convenient and like not polluting the whatever. Moving on. So yeah, most people drive their cars every day, so it's like a third house thing. And then I was gonna say, her third house is Pisces. Pisces is in Leo, and then like that's again like her sun. That's another correlation between just like her sun and cars, like her being associated with like the song driver's license and cars. It's like her first like debut of like her own art into the world, not just like acting in something someone else wrote. And I know we weren't perfect, but I've never felt this way for no one. And I just can't imagine how you could be so okay now that I'm gone. I can't imagine how you could be so okay now that I'm gone. Guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. Because you said forever, now I drive alone past your street. And all my friends are tired of hearing how much I miss you. So friends, it depends on like how close they are. Um, Austin Coppock has said like if you have a friend that's like so close, they're like a brother, that's like a third house like they could fall into the sibling's house because you see them like a sibling. I think of like if you have a best friend, like just a really close like one friend that you hang out with like one on one a lot would be like a seventh house friendship maybe, and then like friends, like if you have like a group of friends, it's like 11th house. So like all my friends is like 11th house to me. They're tired of hearing how much I miss you. Her 11th house is Scorpio, ruled by Mars in the 12th house. So she's like sabotaging her friendships almost by like talking about this person, like sabotaged her, um, betrayed her. Although like that's not necessarily in the song. Like we don't know in this song he didn't necessarily do anything wrong. Her friends are tired of hearing how much she misses him because they probably don't really like him that much either. They're probably like, he sucked, move on, you know. But she says, I kind of feel sorry for them because they'll never know you the way that I do. So she's like, again, like, I don't know, just doubling down on this person who like he said forever and now he's not there, and now she's like holding on to it and it's like self sabotage. Like if she would just let go, you know. Not that it's that easy. I'm not saying it's just like she should just be able to move on in like one day because he said forever and then they broke up. So it's like okay, what everything else he said is a lie too, babe. Whatever. All my friends are tired of hearing how much I miss you, but I kind of feel sorry for them because they'll never know you the way that I do. Yeah, today I drove through the suburbs and pictured I was driving home to you. Okay, and then I was kind of just saying the lyrics and like thinking about the chart. These aren't necessarily related, but I was just thinking about I haven't mentioned this yet, the Mars and the Pluto in the 12th house in Sagittarius. Those are also ruled by Jupiter and Leo. So I don't think that was necessarily relevant to what I just said. Maybe it is. Okay, but I know we weren't perfect. I and I know we weren't perfect, but I've never felt this way for no one. Oh, and I just can't imagine how you could be so okay now that I'm gone. I guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me, 'cause you said forever. Now I drive alone past your street. Red light, stop signs, I still see your face in the white car's front yards. Okay, so the just the colors that she uses here, red lights, stop signs. Mars is the like red planet associated with things that are red. The white cars. So her seventh house is ruled by Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon, which is like white. It's associated with white. So like just those two planets that are have already come up in yeah, I just think it's interesting. Okay, can't drive past the can't drive past the places we used to go to because I still fucking love you, babe. Sidewalks we crossed, I still see your voice in the traffic. We're laughing over all the noise. God, I'm so blue. No, we're through, but I still fucking love you, babe. I know we were perfect, but I've never felt this way for no one, and I just can't imagine how you could be so okay now that I'm gone. Cause you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. Cause you said forever, now I drive alone past your street. You said forever, now I drive alone past your street. Okay, and then also since she says forever so many times, Saturn is also like the planet of time and like building things that last, and especially Capricorn. Capricorn is like systems that are like meant to last. So it's like a lot of focus on like forever and like building the future together, and then like feeling betrayed that like it didn't happen with Chiron in the first house in Capricorn. Um, and then like all the 12th house stuff that we talked about. Okay, so the next song is One Step Forward, Three Steps Back. This one also reminds me of my ex-boyfriend. Um, Called you on the phone today just to ask you how you were. All I did was speak normally. Somehow I still struck a nerve. You got me fucked up in the head, boy. I'm gonna stop there. It's like kind of awkward in the middle of a line rhyme, but so that just reminds me of like Mercury conjunct Neptune. Um, like yeah, never doubted myself so much. Like, am I pretty? Am I fun, boy? I hate that I give you power with that kind of stuff. Okay, so like Mercury is communication, and then Neptune is like um disillusionment and kind of like fantasies and like lies. I think just like if someone's lying, it's like Neptune. They're trying to create this like world that doesn't exist in your mind. That's basically what a lie is. So like she's trying to talk to this guy that she's dating on the phone, and she just speaks normally, and then she has no idea. Like somehow I still struck a nerve, and it's like getting her fucked up in the head. Like her communication is just like bringing back something that just doesn't make any sense to her. Like how did what I say lead to you saying that? Um, so yeah, Mercury conjunct Neptune, um, and it's also like in the sign of Aquarius, which is often like Aquarians will be accused of being very emotionally detached, which isn't necessarily true, I think. Aquarius is the water bearer, and so I think like if you think about a town that has like there's like a village and then the water bearer goes to the river and like gets water, like the water bearer is like kind of isolated from everyone else. They're like necessary for the society to function in a way, because they need the water, but like only one person's going and getting it, and that person's like separated from society. They're not in on like whatever inside jokes are happening, whatever cultural moments are going on while that person's walking to the river to get water. They're not a part of it. So like they're kind of like Aquarius is necessary for society, but like separate from it in a way. And so they can kind of like seem detached, but they're probably like they have their own emotions, but they just like don't feel like close enough to anyone to like say it necessarily. So okay, I don't know where that came from. Okay, and because it's always one step forward, three steps back. You're the love of my life, or I'm the love of your life until I make you mad. It's always one step forward and three steps back. Do you love me, want me, hate me, boy? I don't understand. No, I don't understand. Um, Mercury conjunct Neptune. I don't understand. And maybe it's a masochistic way. I kind of find it all exciting. 12th house placements, self betrayal. Like, she knows that this is like a messed up relationship and she could break up with him, but she's like, she kind of likes it because she has Mars and Pluto in the 12th house. I kind of find it all exciting. Like, which lover will I get today? Will you walk me to the door? Send me home crying. It's one step forward. And okay, so which lover will I get today? She has Cancer on the seventh house. Cancer ruled by the moon in Libra. And Libra, along with the other air signs, are all kind of like dual. Like Gemini is the twins, and then Libra has like if you look at the glyph, it's like the sunset. So there's like one line and then another, and then Aquarius is like two kind of. So there's like double. Um, not to be like the mutable signs or the double-bodied signs like Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces are considered double-bodied. But like the air signs have this like dual quality to them as well. So like having the moon, the ruler of the seventh house, in a sign, especially Libra. Libra's like the scales, so it's like balance. You need to have two things to like balance them. So there's like kind of this dual quality to the person that she's in a relationship with. Which lover will I get today? Will you walk me to the door, send me home crying? So one step forward, three steps back. I'm the love of your life until I make you mad. Okay, I already sang the chorus. I already said the lyrics of the chorus. Okay. No, it's back and forth. Did I say something wrong? It's back and forth, going over everything I said. It's back and forth. Did I do something wrong? It's back and forth. Maybe this is all your fault instead. It's one step forward, three steps back, and I leave you, but the roller coaster is all I've ever had. Yeah, it's one step forward, three steps back. Do you love me, want me, hate me, boy? I don't understand. No, I don't understand. So yeah, just the same kind of Mercury conjunct Neptune, Moon in Libra, ruling the seventh house. And then again, Mars and Pluto in the 12th house. Um, I've talked about all of her placements at this point. Okay, I feel like I'm really sticking to that. Okay, so here we go. Deja Vu. I think I covered this one too, I don't remember. I covered three of her songs. One of them was Vampire, one was Traitor, and then I think it was this one. I don't know. Okay, so Car Rides to Malibu. This is Deja Vu. Car Rides to Malibu. Again, cars often just like wow, cars come up a lot with her, you know? Okay, with the sun in the third house. That makes sense. And then car rides to Malibu, strawberry ice cream, one spoon for two, and trading jackets, laughing about how small it looks on you. Ha 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 ha. Watching reruns of Glee. Love Glee. Being annoying, singing in harmony. I bet she's bragging to all her friends, saying, "You're so unique." This sounds like a cute date. And then I bet she's bragging to all her friends. And it's like, what? What's going on there? You've heard the song. I don't need to explain why it's good. I'm assuming. If you haven't heard any of Olivia Rodrigo's music and you're watching this video, thank you so much. What are you doing here? I've watched my fair share of like videos, like video essays about me, like things I haven't, content I haven't consumed first. A lot of times it'll be like a video, like ContraPoints, they'll just put something like envy, and then it's like I don't know what like piece of media she's gonna analyze, but she's gonna explain it, so I don't need to have seen it. But anyway, I bet she's bragging to all her friends, saying you're so unique. So when are you gonna tell her that we did that too? She thinks it's special, but it's all reused. That was our place. I found it first. I made the jokes you tell to her when she's with you. Do you get deja vu when she's with you? I actually don't have anything specific like jumping out at me about this. Do you call her almost say my name? Because let's be honest, we kind of do sound the same. Another actress. I hate to think that I was just your type. Okay, one thing that I am thinking about though with this is like just the way the houses are set up. This isn't about Olivia Rodrigo's chart specifically. Just the way the houses are set up, no matter what chart system, what house system you use, what zodiac, tropical, sidereal, whatever else. Like the first house and seventh house are opposites, and the first house is you, and the seventh house is like your partner. And then so I always think like people will break up and then they'll say their partner moved on to somebody else. And so like using derivative houses, the partner of your partner or ex-partner now would be back to the first house. So it's like a lot of people say like, "Oh, my partner is dating someone who's like just like me. They look just like me. They're like whatever." And it just makes me think of that like the seventh house, that your partner's new partner would be back to the first. Like, it's interesting. So yeah. But I like nothing specifically about Olivia Rodrigo's charts really jumping out here. I bet that she knows Billy Joel because you played her Uptown Girl, you're singing it together. I bet you even tell her how you love her in between the chorus and the verse. That's like Chiron conjunct Venus to me. Like she's it's very like musically specific pain. Like we watched the show together, which like the show Glee has a lot of music. They sing a lot. If you haven't seen it, it's Glee Club. They're like in show choir. Yeah. But yeah, it's like very musically specific pain. Like I bet you tell her that you love her in between the chorus and the verse of the song, and it's just like a wound related to music. Venus conjunct Chiron in the first house. So when are you gonna tell her that we did that too? She thinks it's special, but it's all reused. That was the show we talked about. Played you song she's singing now when she's with you. Do you get deja vu when she's with you? Do you get deja vu? Oh. Do you get deja vu? Oh, strawberry ice cream in Malibu. Don't act like we didn't do that shit too. You're trading jackets like we used to do. Yeah, everything is all reused. Play her piano, but she doesn't know. I was the one who taught you Billy Joel. A different girl now, but there's nothing new. I know you get deja vu. I know you get deja vu. I know you get deja vu. Okay, the only other thing I'm thinking is like strawberry ice cream would be like food, which would be like a second house thing. Um, but like I don't know. Yeah, I don't really have that much to say about deja vu, I guess. Uh, oh, good for you. I think good for you might have been the one that I covered actually. Well, good for you. I guess you moved on really easily. You found a new girl and it only took a couple weeks. So in the other song, she said, ain't it funny how you ran to her the second that we called it quits? And in this one, she says, you found a new girl and it only took a couple weeks. Um, so what's up with that? Don't know. Don't know what's going on there. Remember when you said that you wanted to give me the world? And good for you. I guess that you've been working on yourself. I guess that therapist I found for you, she really helped. Now you can be a better man for your brand new girl. So she found a therapist for her boy. Okay, this is like so 12th house, so, like 12th house energy. She found a therapist for a guy and then he broke up with her, and then started dating another girl, and then now like the work that she did finding him a therapist is like helping somebody else now. So it's like 12 house 12 house is like mental health and like therapy, I would say. And then yeah, just like she sabotaged. I don't think that was like her plan when she found him a therapist, was like, I hope you can be good for someone else, you know? So well, good for you. You look happy and healthy, not me, if you ever cared to ask. That's yeah, like Venus conjunct Chiron in the third house. Oh gosh, my cat's gonna probably want to come inside in a second. Yeah, Venus conjunct Chiron in the first house is like, um, if you're hurt, you're gonna look bad, like not happy and not healthy. So like you look happy and healthy, not me, if you ever cared to ask. And it's like just another wound on top of the wound is like, um yeah, she's like, I'm not doing so well right now, and you look great and you're moving on. And it's just like, yeah, my cat's outside once. For you, you look happy and healthy. You ever cared to ask? Good for you, you're doing great out there without me, baby. Like a damn sociopath. Alright, you damn sociopaths, we're back. Yeah, 12th house stuff, self sabotage, helping her boyfriend get a therapist to be a better man for his brand new girl. I lost my mind. I spent the night crying on the floor of my bathroom. You're so unaffected. I really don't get it. I guess good for you. Good for you. I guess you're getting everything you want. You bought a new car and your car is really taking off. It's like we never even happened, baby. What the fuck is up with that? Good for you. It's like you never even met me. Remember when you swear to God I was the only person who ever got you? Well, screw that and screw you. You will never have to hurt the way you know that I do. Yeah, you will never have to hurt the way you know that I do. Um, in addition to like work, the sixth house is also like physical injury, and then the 12th house would also be like mental injury. Is that my cat trying to go outside? I just opened the freaking door for him, I swear. Maybe I'm too emotional, but your apathy is like a wound in salt. Okay. I was already talking about the sixth house, 12th house being like, in addition to work and like isolation and stuff, like I've talked about, and self-sabotage. There's also like physical illness in the sixth house, and like I would say like mental illness, but like physical illness that like keeps you isolated. So then she's talking a lot about like wounds and stuff. Her being too emotional, and then like his apathy, like a wound, like again Chiron, and then like yeah, Chiron in the first. It's like a physical wound to the body, and then like because of love, Chiron conjunct Venus. Maybe I'm too emotional, but your apathy is like a wound in salt. Maybe I'm too emotional, or maybe you never cared at all. Yeah, and I think like if you're dating somebody who doesn't care at all, you kind of know that. So again, the kind of self-sabotagey, like staying with somebody who like you know isn't right for you. Um, well, good for you. You look happy and healthy, not me. If you ever cared to ask, good for you. You're doing great out there without me, baby, like a damn sociopath. I've lost my mind. I spent the night crying on the floor of my bathroom, but you're so unaffected. I really don't get it, but I guess good for you. Well, good for you. And I can see you moved on really easily. So the other thing I would say there is like crying on the floor of my bathroom to me is like the first time she mentions like any kind of house, like a room, a room in a house, I think. But yeah, it's like, so she's home, and that's like where, so like the IC is the opposite of the MC, where the MC is like the highest point in the sky, and then the IC is like the lowest point, and it usually, depending on what house system you use, could be the beginning of the fourth house, or it could fall somewhere in the fourth house, maybe the third or fifth, and then like it like decreasing probability it would like go further and further out. So like it could be in the second and the sixth, it could be in the first and the, I don't know. Yeah, so she has her icy in the fourth house in whole sign houses. And uh her fourth house is Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars, and then Mars is in the 12th house. So like crying on the floor of my bathroom is like her being at home, and then like being so emotionally distraught from this like betrayal from this man, that she's crying on the floor of her bathroom. The next song that we have is called Enough for You. I wore makeup when we dated because I thought you'd like me more. If I look like the other prom queens I know that you loved before, tried so hard to be everything that you liked just for you to say you're not the compliment type. That's so Venus conjunct Chiron in the first house to me. Like, she was wearing makeup, which is like, I would say Venus, to like impress this man that she liked, Venus. Um, and then because like she was comparing herself to the other girls that he's been with, like Chiron. Um, and then yeah, just like he says he's not the compliment type, like that's a deep wound. And like she's dressing up specifically for him, and then he doesn't say anything about it. And then I knew how you took your coffee and your favorite songs by heart. I read all of your self help books, so you'd think that I was smart. That was confusing to me. I thought that meant that he wrote self help books, and I'm like, what? And then later, I think, okay, her alleged ex boyfriend and co star Joshua Bassett told EW about self help books that he had read in May 2021. I've been reading a lot and trying to work on myself and just grow. So I was like, did she date a guy who wrote self-help books and then it turned out that he just read some, so like she read the same books that he was reading. Okay. So again, so he would think that she was smart, and then she says, I love how she does this, like, so you think that I was smart, stupid, emotional. She just goes right from the word smart to stupid. Like, ah, so good. Anyway, stupid, emotional, obsessive, little me. I knew from the start this is exactly how you'd leave. Yeah, that to me is like kind of like self-sabotaging. That's not the word that I'm thinking of though. Like self-fulfilling prophecy, 12th house, self-sabotage. Yeah. Um, because if you're dating someone who if you know, really, I know they're gonna leave me for someone else, and you're dating them anyway, like, what are you really doing that for? Like, you know, you're just gonna get hurt. Like, it's, yeah, I would say self sabotage. So I knew from the start this is exactly how you leave. You found someone more exciting the next second you were gone. So that also, she said, ain't it funny how you ran to her the second that we called it quits? Then in Traitor, she says, like, it took you 2 weeks to go off and date her. And then this again is the next second. You found someone more exciting the next second you were gone. So it sounds like they were talking for like 2 weeks, and then he started dating her like right when they broke up, but it was like technically 2 weeks. That's my guesstimation of what happened. Anyway, so yeah, you found someone more exciting the next second you were gone. You left me there crying, wondering what I did wrong, and you always say I'm never satisfied, but I don't think that's true because all I ever wanted was to be enough for you. All I ever wanted was to be enough. So Chiron in the first house, ignoring the Venus for a second, just Chiron in the first house, is like the wound of like yourself, like you're just not enough. And so then yeah, she's like looking, Chiron conjunct Venus is like, she wants a relationship to like heal this wound for her, but it's never gonna be enough. Yeah, she just, because if all, even if all you want is to be enough for somebody, that's still like a lot of pressure to put on them, because you should have the self-esteem to like feel like you're enough. And if you're relying on another person to like give you that all the time, that's gonna be like an unhealthy relationship. Even if it doesn't start out that way, like eventually you're gonna need to like control them. Like you're not gonna let them see their friends because that's like threatening to your relationship, which is a threat to your self-worth, you know? So even if that's all she wanted, that's still not like a good reason to be dating somebody. If this were another video, I might argue that it was compulsory heterosexuality, and maybe I'm just not as interesting as the girls you had before. But God, you couldn't have cared less about someone who loved you more. I'd say you broke my heart, but you broke much more than that. Chiron in the first house, he broke like her self-worth. Like, I have Chiron conjunct my sun. It's not in my first house, but it's like still kind of like, um not to get too into my own life, but like my mom told me she didn't want to have kids when she had me, and so like I feel like my like I shouldn't have been born because like my mom didn't want me, and so like I didn't date until like my first boyfriend like asked me out when I was 24, and so like um I felt like finally, you know, like somebody like I finally feel like I'm worth something. Like I'm worthy of love. And then so when he broke up with me, it just like to like my entire self-worth was like called into question now because I'm like finally like somebody loves me and then like now I'm back to just being like worthless, you know, because like the one person that I thought loved me doesn't. But that's not true. Yeah, you broke my heart, but you broke much more than that. Now I don't want your sympathy, I just want myself back. So again, like she like lost herself like when she um I'm not sure if that means like I want myself back from like before you broke my heart or from before like I met you and I started changing to be this girl that you wanted me to be. Either way. It's good. Before you found someone more exciting, the next second you were gone, you left me there crying, wondering what I did wrong, and you say I'm never satisfied, but I don't think that's true because all I ever wanted was to be enough. And don't you think I loved you too much to be used and discarded? Don't you think I loved you too much to think I deserve nothing? Um, yeah, Chiron again in the first house, like she without this person who loves her, she deserves nothing, you know. But don't tell me you're sorry, boy. Feel sorry for yourself. 'Cause someday I'll be everything to somebody else. And so like this is an example of like using the music to heal the heartbreak. Venus conjunct Chiron. I feel like I'm just repeating myself so much, but it's like yeah. Someday I'll be everything to somebody else. So she has this like heartbreak from this guy who like made her feel like she was like worthy of love and then took that away from her. And now she has this wound again. Um, and she's using the music to heal it, to like kind of fantasize, project out into the future about this relationship that she'll have where somebody does think that she's exciting and she is enough for them. And they'll think that I'm so exciting and you'll be the one who's crying. Yeah, you always say I'm never satisfied, but I don't think that's true. You say I'm never satisfied, but that's not me, it's you. Because all I ever wanted was to be enough, but I don't think anything could ever be enough. No, nothing's enough for you. Okay. Yeah. It's not that. I kind of thought she went more into the future, more than one line, but yeah, she just immediately goes to like, she wants this other person to suffer who made her suffer, which is valid. Good for you. Enough for you. Then we have happier. Oh, there's a little like description, a summary of the song at the top of Genius. I didn't know that. In Happier, Olivia wishes the best for an ex lover and their new relationship, but simultaneously hopes to remain a significant memory in their life. Happier starts. We broke up a month ago. Your friends are mine. You know, I know you've moved on, found someone new. One more girl who brings out the better in you. And I thought my heart was detached from the sunlight of our past, but she's so sweet, she's so pretty. Does she mean you forgot about me? Well, I hope you're happy, but not like how you were with me. I'm selfish, I know. Can't let you go. So find someone great, but don't find no one better. I hope you're happy, but don't be happier. So it's like, um, yeah, the Chiron conjunct Venus coming back up. I mean, it's in her first house, so it's like probably gonna be very prominent in a lot of the songs. But yeah, she's like her relationship is so important that like even though they broke up and he's moved on, she still needs him to like value her in order to feel like a valuable person. Do you tell her she's the most beautiful girl you've ever seen? An eternal love bullshit you know you'll never mean. Remember when I believed you meant it when you said it first to me. And now I'm picking her apart. Let like cutting her down will make you miss my wretched heart. She's beautiful, she looks kind, she probably gives you butterflies. I'm selfish, I know. Going back to the Jupiter Leo, um, Leo being like stereotyped as a selfish sign. Yeah, it's like kind of selfish to like want your ex partner, like they're in a new relationship, and like just imagine, like, okay, so let's say Olivia Rodrigo was the one who, like, her boyfriend left another girl to be with her. And now so she's the one who's like in the relationship and then there's like another girl. Like, would she want her boyfriend to be like fondly thinking of this other girl while his hands are on her? I don't think so. So like it does seem kind of selfish because I don't think she would want that in her partner, to be like fondly thinking of his ex. She wouldn't want that, of course, but she wants him to be thinking fondly of her while he's with his new partner. So I do think that's like it does seem a little selfish. I know, can't let you go. Um, and like her like ego and identity is kind of wrapped up in like this person's like the way that he thinks about her. Okay, so that was happier. Next up we have jealousy, jealousy. So this one proves that she's gay because I'm just kidding. Okay, I kind of want to throw my phone across the room because all I see are girls too good to be true. Gay. Because all I see are girls too good to be true. With paper white teeth and perfect bodies. Wish I didn't care. I know their beauty is not my lack, but it feels like that weight is on my back, and I can't let it go. Come comparison is killing me slowly, and I think too much about kids who don't know me. I'm so sick of myself. Rather be anyone else. My jealousy, jealousy started following me. Started following me. um. So yeah, again, like Venus conjunct Chiron in the first house is like her worth. Like Venus is also like beauty standards. And so she's like because of so Chiron kind of moves pretty slowly most of the time, and then Venus is like a lot faster. So like Venus conjunct Chiron is like not super common. I mean, it'll happen like once a year, maybe, depending on the retrogrades. Maybe more than that, like, but it's not like the outer planets like Saturn and Gemini. The people in her grade that she grew up with probably also had Saturn and Gemini. And so it's like the generational planets, like everyone has it, but like um not everyone is gonna have Venus conjunct Chiron who's like born in the same year, so it's like kind of rare. So like she probably feels this more intensely than like other people, like at least her age. There's other people like other who were born in other years who like have it too, who feel it intensely, but like she probably feels this like more than most of her peers is what I'm trying to say. But like this and like it'll come back in pretty isn't pretty enough, but like yeah, she feels like her worth like more intensely than other people, I would say, is associated with like her fitting the like beauty standards. So yeah, she's like comparing herself to other people, and it's killing her slowly. I see everyone getting all the things I want. I'm happy for them, but then again, I'm not. Just cool vintage clothes, vacation photos. I can't stand it. Oh god, I sound crazy. Come here, little kitty cat. You don't have to. You want me to open the door for you? What do you have to say to the people? Vacation photos. I can't stand it. Oh god, I sound crazy. There's my cat's butthole if you want to look at that. Their win is not my loss. I know it's true, but I can't help getting caught up. And then so when she says like their win is not my loss, it's like games. Games are a fifth house topic. What's up, little kitty cat? Yeah, fifth house. So fifth house is Taurus, and then she has Taurus in the first house. Or Taurus ruled by Venus, and she has Venus in the first house. Hi. Yeah, so that's like she probably thinks of things like a game like that. Yeah, like conforming to the beauty standards is kind of like a game, and there's like winners and losers. But like I feel like the fact that she had to write it in a song and say like their win is not my loss, like she's not just like she's reminding herself, you know? Um, so yeah, I think that's like without the reminder, that's how she would normally. Hi, kitty. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. Then yeah, all your friends are so cool. You go out every night in your daddy's nice car. Yeah, you're living the life. Got a pretty face, a pretty boyfriend. You got a pretty face, pretty boyfriend too. I want to be you so bad, and I don't even know it. She wants to be a girl with a pretty boyfriend. Wife goals or life goals? You tell me. Anyway, all I see is what I should be. Happier, prettier, jealousy, jealousy. All I see is what I should be. I'm losing it. All I get's jealousy, jealousy, and then comparison is killing me slowly. Blah 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 blah. Jealousy would kind of be like, just in itself, it's self sabotage in a way. Like I think we label emotions good or bad, and they're not necessarily good or bad. And things like jealousy and anger are just like telling us like they're letting us know that like things in our life aren't the way that we want them to be, and they're like giving us um maybe like a direction that we could move towards. So like if you're jealous of this girl with a pretty boyfriend, maybe like get your own pretty boyfriend. But I mean, there's some things like you can't just like go out every night in your daddy's nice car with all your friends if you don't have those things. So I just want to say jealousy isn't necessarily bad. Okay. The next song that we have up is Favorite Crime. Know that I loved you so bad. I let you treat me like that. I let you treat me like that. So she knows that he was doing things that he shouldn't be, treating her ways that he shouldn't be treating her, lying to her. And she let it happen because she just wanted him so bad. Because her self worth is dependent on whether she has a man in her life because compulsory heterosexuality. Not really. I don't know her. I'm not gonna. I'm just joking, okay? But it's probably I wouldn't be surprised if she came out as like at least not like at least bisexual, like bisexual is the middle ground. But you know what I mean? Like on the Kinsey scale, she's like at least 4, I would say. um, the things I did just so I could call you mine, the things you did. Well, I hope I was your favorite crime. One thing that like the word crime is making me think, okay, like this is her partner, and then that's like seventh house Cancer ruled by the moon in Libra in the 10th house. And then like Libra is the scales, and it's like kind of associated with the justice, like the scales of justice. And so like this is a like her partner is like her relationship is a crime when it's like judged by the scales because of all the self-sabotage that she like the things that he did and the things that she did, like ignoring the things that he did, the sabotage and the betrayal. Anyway, you used me as an alibi. I crossed my heart as you crossed the line, and I defended you to all my friends. Now every time a siren sounds, I wonder if you're around because you know that I do it all again. She's like, I know I sabotaged myself and like let you do things that you shouldn't have done, and I would do it all again because I have Mars in the 12th house. Self-destructive. I have a self-destructive streak. It's bittersweet to think about the damage that we do because I was going down, but I was doing it with you. Yeah, everything we broke and all the trouble that we made. But I say that I hate you with a smile on my face. Oh, look what we became. All the things I did just so I could call you mine. All the things you did. Well, I hope I was your favorite crime. Your favorite crime, your favorite crime. Because baby, you were mine. Like Saturn is like the law, and then Venus in Saturn's sign of Capricorn, maybe. I was just on favorite crime and I clicked it again. Okay, so this is the final song from Sour. At least the version that I listened to. As far as I know, there were like deluxe albums that were released, but I think they were only on vinyl. And then like eventually maybe they were released. Like I'm sure they're on YouTube. I'm sure they're like other places, but like this is when I go on like Apple Music, when I had Apple Music. I don't anymore, but when I would go on Apple Music, or when I had my album that I would listen to in the car, this was the last song. So this is the last song from this album that I'm gonna do. Hope you're okay. I knew a boy once when I was small, a towhead blonde with eyes of salt. What is towhead? He played the drum in the marching band. His parents cared more about the Bible than being good to their own child. He wore long sleeves because of his dad, and somehow we fell out of touch. Hope he took his bad deal and made a royal flush. Don't know if I'll see you again someday, but if you're out there, I hope that you're okay. Ugh, that's so sad. So he's like a boy, that she knew. It's just like an acquaintance, which would be like 11th house, I would say. Scorpio 11th house ruled by Mars. In the 12th house, she's thinking about like the abuse and like Pluto conjunct Mars. Um, yeah, just like very abusive dynamic there. Because Pluto's power, and then Mars is like kind of like violence and like anger and stuff. So like yeah, that's such a sad. This was really sad. Um, but that's like what I'm from her chart. What I'm seeing in this verse, or this probably the whole song. And then my middle school friend grew up alone. She raised her brothers on her own. Her parents hated who she loved. She couldn't wait to go to college. She was tired because she was brought into a world where family was merely blood. She Does she know how proud I am? She was created with the courage to unlearn all of their hatred. We don't talk much, but I just gotta say, I miss you and I hope that you're okay. Address the letters to the holes in my butterfly wings. Nothing's forever. Nothing's as good as it seems. And when the clouds won't iron out and the monsters creep into your house, every door is hard to close. That reminds me, okay, like monsters creep into your house again is like fourth house is like the house in the home. And then she has Aries on the fourth house, which is ruled by Mars, which is in her 12th house. Um, Interesting. I just realized she has Saturn in the sixth house, which is Mars's the house of Mars's joy, and then Mars in the 12th house, which is the house of Saturn's joy. So they're like in each other's joy. I don't know if there's like a thing for that, like mutual reception, but they're also like making an oppositional aspect. And there's an opposition between the Jupiter um, in Leo and the Mercury Neptune conjunction in Aquarius. And every door is hard to close. Well, I hope you know how proud I am you were created with the courage to unlearn all of their hatred. But God, I hope you're happier today because I love you and I hope that you're okay. That's just nice. I don't want to add to that. I'm just gonna leave it. It's just a good, nice, wholesome. Not that I wouldn't say wholesome. It's just like a nice song still. Okay, moving on. Next up, we have the album Guts. The first song on Guts is All American Bitch. So it starts, I am light as a feather, I'm as stiff as a board. I pay attention to things that most people ignore. I'm alright with the movies that make jokes about senseless cruelty, that's for sure. And I am built like a mother in a total machine. I feel for your every little issue, I know just what you mean. And I make light of the darkness. I've got sun in my motherfucking pocket. Best believe, yeah, you know me. So yeah, I mean, I'm like, she has the sun, and everyone has the sun, so it's like she has the sun in her motherfucking pocket. But like, maybe the sun conjunct Uranus, she invented a new technology to keep the sun in her pocket. But yeah, just the song is all about like duality. So I'm like, the sun in Pisces is one of the mutable signs. It's like two fish, and they're like swimming in opposite directions. And so yeah, it's just like the tension between the two different things, like being a mother and a total machine, like the music of it too. It's like soft and quiet, and then it gets like loud and like kind of like, I don't know what you can describe it yourself. Yeah, it goes back and forth from like the quiet, like peaceful kind of softer music, and then the louder, like more intense, like faster, like chorus. So yeah, it's like duality. So yeah, the sun in Pisces, and then the moon in Libra, your chart ruler in Gemini, which is like it's the double bodied because it's mutable and it's an air sign, so it's like just like very changeable. Um, Mutable means like changeable. Um, so yeah, the mutable signs are like the signs at the end of the season where like the weather could be like you don't know if it's gonna be like a nice spring day or like a hot summer day yet in Gemini, because it's about to change to summer. So yeah, that's what that means. And then Gemini is an air sign, so it's like but then she has Saturn there, so it's like Saturn's like the planet of, limitations and like structures and like um so yeah, it's just like she's trying to, yeah, figure out where she fits into these like dualities. Forgive and I forget. I know my age. When I first heard this, like the first couple times I listened to it, when she says forgive and I forget, I thought she said fuck him and I forget. Like she's not having like random casual sex with all these guys and then forgetting. And I'm like, okay, yeah, go girl. And she's like, I know my age and I act like it. I'm like, yeah, that does sound like something like a young like 21-year-old would do. And then I realized it said forgive and I forget. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of boring now. But whatever. Um, I know my age and I act like it. Got what you can't resist. I'm a perfect all American. So I know my age and I act like it is like kind of the opposite of what I think she's kind of being ironic. Like based on like the rest of her lyrics, like the Capricorn rising thing where it's like they act like they're older than they are. So yeah, I think she's kind of being tongue in cheek there, just being like she usually acts older than she is, and so she's like doing this like fun song where she's like screaming and like kind of not screaming necessarily, just it's just like a louder, like more rock and roll kind of song. She's like, I know my age and I act like it. Um, yeah, I'm light as a feather. I'm as fresh as the air. Coca-Cola bottles that I only use to curl my hair. Boycott Coca-Cola, free Palestine. I got class and integrity, just like a goddamn Kennedy, I swear, with love to spare. Yeah, Capricorn rising. They're classy, you know? I don't know what to say. Forgive and I forget. I know my age and I look like it. Got what you can't resist. I'm a perfect all American bitch with perfect all American lips and perfect all American hips. And again, like when I would listen to the song, I'm like insecure about my boobs. I think like my boobs are too small and like no one's gonna love me for it. So like I would change it like when I would sing it to perfect all American tits and lips. No, tits and hips. I don't know. I think my lips are like kind of small too, but like I have nice hips, so I would probably keep lips and change hips to tits. And then I saw in an interview, I think it was like Jimmy, one of the Jimmys, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, could be either one to be honest. Could be someone else too. But yeah, she was like, she's like, I love like putting like swear words and stuff in my songs, and actually, like I had to tone it down. Like I wrote "Perfect All American Tits," and I changed it to I think she changed tits to lips and had hips, but she has like bigger lips, and I feel like she's probably not insecure. But then she has another lyric about lipstick, so I don't know. Okay, I don't get angry when I'm pissed. I'm the eternal optimist. I scream inside to deal with it, like ah. She screams a lot. Oh my fucking god! Yeah, I didn't know she said that. I didn't hear it. There's a lot of screaming. That's like I don't get angry when I'm pissed is like Mars in the 12th house to me because it's like one of the unaspected houses from the ascendant. And so like even if you're angry, you don't get pissed because you're like it's kind of self-sabotaging because you're not letting out your like if you're feeling angry, you gotta like let out that energy, otherwise it like stays inside you and like festers and bottles up and then it'll come out some other time when you're not expecting it or maybe you'll just die. A little self sabotage there, but it's like the anger. Like I don't get angry when I'm pissed. Is like if you're angry, like pissed is like a synonym for angry. I think it's probably like there's little nuances that like this person's pissed and this person's angry, but like I couldn't articulate that for you. So I'm just gonna say like they're both synonyms. And so like from the ascendant, you can't see the 12th house where Mars is. So like even if she's angry, she like can't like access that energy somehow. So like she can't let it out until like doing music all the time. I'm grateful all the time. I'm sexy and I'm kind. I'm pretty when I cry. Oh, all the time. I'm grateful all the fucking time. I'm sexy and I'm kind. I'm pretty when I cry. Pretty when I cry. Venus conjunct Chiron. Being pretty while you're crying about a wound. Okay, so the next song, Bad Idea, right? This song, I was playing it on my bass guitar, and my cat really liked it. He came and like sat on my bed with me. He never does that. So I'm like, my cat loves Olivia Rodrigo, specifically Bad Idea, right? Haven't heard from you in a couple of months, but I'm out right now and I'm all fucked up and you're calling my phone, you're all alone and I'm sensing some undertone and I remember you with all my friends, you're sending me your new address. I know we're done, I know we're through, but God, when I look at you, my brain goes, oh, can't hear my thoughts, like blah blah blah. I should probably not. I should probably not. Seeing you tonight. It's a bad idea, right? Okay, so this to me, I'm thinking like seventh house, it's a relationship, it's an ex, but it's like still somebody she was like agreeing to be in a partnership with for a period. So it's like seventh house person, ruled by the moon in Libra. And she's like judging this situation, like where Libra's the scales and like judgment. She's judging the situation before it happens and then deciding like this is a bad idea. I shouldn't go along with it. I shouldn't go through with it and then she does it anyway. Um I don't she didn't say I shouldn't go through with it, but it just it's a bad idea. And then again, like self sabotage, Mars in the 12th house, conjunct Pluto. Yes, I know that he's my ex, but can't do seeing you tonight, it's a bad idea, right? And then seeing you tonight, it's a bad idea, right? Seeing you tonight, it's a bad idea, right? Seeing you tonight, it's a bad idea, right? Seeing you tonight. Fuck it, it's fine. Yes, I know that he's my ex, but can't two people reconnect? I only see him as a friend. Biggest lie I ever said. Mercury conjunct Neptune. Lying. Biggest, that's such a weird phrase too. Biggest lie I ever said. I don't know. I just find it like awkward, but okay. Oh, yes, I know that he's my ex, but can't you people reconnect? I only see him as a friend. Just tripped and fell into his bed. Now I'm getting in the car, making all my plans. I know I should stop, but I can't. I told my friends I was asleep, but I never said where. In his sheets. In whose sheets? It says who's here, but I thought it was his. Never said where. In his sheets, and I pull up and I pull up to your place on the and I pull up to your place on the second floor. That's and I pull up to your place on the second floor, and you're standing smiling at the door. And I'm sure I've seen much hotter men, but I really can't remember when. My brain goes, ah, can't hear my thoughts, like blah blah blah. I should probably not. I should probably not. See you tonight. It's a bad idea, right? See you tonight. Okay, you get the idea. Um, yeah, that's all I really have to say about that is like the judgment about like what's gonna happen being Libra, and then like knowing it's a bad idea and doing it anyway, being like Mars in the 12th house. Next up, a vampire. Such a good song. What do I have to say about it though? I don't even think I could. I should just skip it. I hate to give the satisfaction asking how you're doing now. How's the castle built off people you pretend to care about? Just what you wanted? Look at you, cool guy, you got it. I see the parties and the diamonds sometimes when I close my eyes. 6 months of torture you sold as some forbidden paradise. I loved you truly. Gotta laugh at the stupidity. Um, yeah, that's like Venus conjunct Chiron. Like she loved this person and then now she like thinks that that was stupid. Like she's judging herself for like the love that she felt, like Venus conjunct Chiron. Because I've made some real big mistakes, but you make the worst one look fine. I should have known it was strange. You only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so naive. The way you sold me for parts and sunk your teeth into me. Oh, bloodsucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire. This is like kind of like talking about the things that he's like taken from her. So I'm thinking like second house, eighth house axis, which is like the second house being like your items, like your belongings, and it can be like physical items. It can be like it's also like food, like what you eat to sustain your body, and the things that like then things that you have. And it can also be like mental things like morals and like values that they're like yours and you have them, but they're not like physical. And then like the eighth house is like derivative from like the seventh house being like your partner, and then the second from the seventh being the eighth house being your partner's things and like what they eat to sustain themselves, their physical objects that they own, and also like their morals and values, things like that. Yeah, he's like, she's saying, you sold me for parts and sunk your teeth into me. Like you built a castle off of me and other people you pretend to care about. So there's like the Mercury Neptune conjunction where like she's giving him these things because he's lying to her about like being like in love with her and seeing this future with her, and then like taking it all for himself and like building this castle, Jupiter and Leo, building this castle off of things that were like hers that she gave him, and then like fame fucker, like Jupiter, like Leo being like the performer, and like yeah, she says bloodsucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire. And every girl I ever talked to told me you were bad news. You called them crazy. God, I hate the way I called them crazy too. So yeah, he like again lied to her, gaslit her, probably convinced her that like all these other girls were lying. Mercury in the Mercury conjunct Neptune. And then she also like the Venus can be like the way that you kind of interact with women, and then like Venus conjunct Chiron, she has like this like tortured uh, like pained relationship with women where like she believes all these bad, like she believes that they're crazy because like her boyfriend told her that they're crazy, and then like blaming herself retroactively for that, for like believing that. um yeah, you call them crazy. God, I hate the way I call them crazy too. You're so convincing. How do you lie without flinching? Oh, what a mesmerizing, paralyzing, fucked up little thrill. Can't figure out how you do it. And God knows I never will. Went for me and not her. Because girls your age know better. Another focus on age with like Capricorn rising, Saturn. Saturn being the planet of like time and age. Um, yeah, just she's like wanting to like she's at a disadvantage because of her age because she's too young to know like that men are trash because she hasn't experienced it yet, and girls his age know better because they've experienced it. I made some real big mistakes, but you make the worst one look fine, blah blah blah. You said it was true love, but wouldn't that be hard? You can't love anyone except when me and you had a heart. I tried to help you out, now I know that I can't, because how you think's the kind of thing I'll never understand. I made some real big mistakes, but you make the worst one look fine, blah blah blah. Like trying to understand this other person and then like realizing you never will. It's kind of like isolating. Next up, we have Lacey. I'm not even gonna say how gay this one is. Or am I? Let's see. Lacey, oh Lacey, skin like puff pastry. She wants to eat it. Aren't you the sweetest thing on this side of hell? She wants to lick up this girl's skin and eat her like a pastry. Dear Angel Lacey, eyes white as daisies. Just staring into her eyes and thinking about flowers. Did I ever tell you that I'm not doing well? Ooh, I care, I care, I care. Like perfume that you wear, I linger all the time, watching hidden in plain sight, watching this girl. Ooh, I try, I try, I try, but it takes over my life. I see you everywhere. The sweetest torture one could bear. I'm not even gonna talk about the birth chart. Actually, this one's just gonna be like, she's fucking gay. Smart, sexy, lacy. Smart, sexy, lacy. I'm losing it lately. I feel your compliments like bullets on skin. Venus conjunct Chiron. Okay, I'm just a liar. I'm gonna talk about everything. I feel your compliments like bullets on skin. Venus being compliments, bullets being Chiron. Dazzling Starlet, Bardot. This is weird. Okay, because Olivia Rodrigo worked with the producer Dan Nigro on all of her music, as far as I know. And then Chapo Roan worked with Dan Nigro on her album Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess. And she has that song, Red Wine Supernova. I don't know. I think she might have written this one before she started working with Dan, but I'm not sure. She says like she was a playboy, Bridget Bardot. And then this one, it's like Dazzling Starlet, Bardot reincarnate. I'm like, what? Is this like Dan Nigro has like an obsession with Bridget Bardot and just like puts it. He's like, you should put a Bridget Bardot reference. Like, how does that happen? Anyway, I'm not trying to say it's his fault, or I just noticed it. That's all I'm saying. Well, aren't you the greatest thing to ever exist? Ooh, I care, I care, I care, like ribbons in your hair. My stomach's all in knots. She's butterflies in her stomach from talking to this girl that she thinks is pretty. You got the one thing that I want. Ooh, I try, I try, I try. Try to rationalize people are people, but it's like you're made of angel dust. Gay, 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 gay. And then this is the one, okay, so she did take a poetry class. She said Lacey started as a poem that she wrote for that poetry class. So I'm like, there's some like reasonable doubt to like what was the assignment? That's my question. What was the prompt that you wrote this poem for? Tell me that and then I'll reconsider. But unless it's like write a poem about a girl that you're like in love with and like jealous of or something. Like I don't Lacey oh Lacey, it's like you're out to get me in bed with you. You poison every little thing that I do. Lacey oh Lacey, I just loathe you lately. Loathing, unadulterated loathing. There's also an essay about how that's a gay song. Anyway, and I despise my jealous eyes and how hard they fell for you. Yeah, I despise my rotten mind and how much it worships you. Gay! Gay, gay, gay. Venus conjunct Chiron in the first house means that she's gay. She loves women and she feels like she can't express that in her life because there's this expectation in our society that you have to be straight. And if you're a woman, you have to get a man to love you. And that's why her self-worth. Okay. The next song is called Ballad of a Homeschool Girl. Cat got my tongue and I don't think I get along with anyone. It's very like Capricorn rising in the sense that Saturn is the planet of like loneliness and isolation, and that's like her chart ruler. So like I don't think I get along with anyone. She kind of feels like kind of isolated from society or like um yeah, just apart, like different from her peers for sure. Blood running cold. I'm on the outside of the greatest inside joke, and I hate all my clothes. I thought she said with. I'm on the outside with the greatest inside joke. The outside of the great. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she does, which is like I don't know. I like that better. I'm on the outside with the greatest inside joke, because then it's like I don't know, like she values that part, like something in herself that like other people aren't seeing versus just like, oh, I'm missing out on everything. And I hate when I hear the song, I always think she's gonna say friends, and I hate all my friends because she's talking about how she doesn't like get along with anyone. She's like, and I hate all my clothes. Feels like my skin doesn't fit right over my bones. It's very Saturnian, Capricornian. I think skin is associated with Saturn because it's like the outer limit of our body, where Saturn was like the outermost planet that we were aware of in ancient times, before the telescope and the discovery of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Saturn was thought to be like the outer edge of the solar system, and then bones are like Capricornian specifically, where like they're the structure of the body. Capricorn is the structures and the systems. So it's like my skin doesn't fit right over my bones. I'm just like Saturn, 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 Saturn. That was like one of the first lyrics that came to mind when I looked at her chart and I saw like Capricorn rising. I'm like, I feel like my skin doesn't fit right over my bones. Like, yeah, yeah, that checks out. So I guess I should go. The party's done and I'm no fun. I know, I know, I know, I know. And then again, like parties would be like a fifth house thing, like games, just like fun things. And then that's she has Taurus on the fifth house, uh, which is ruled by Venus, and then Venus conjunct Chiron. So like even though this is like supposed to be something that's like fun, like a party where she's like getting to know people, she's like having a hard time. She's not having fun. She's like yeah, she's the buzzkill of the party. Venus conjunct Chiron. The party is done and I'm no fun. I know, I know, I know, I know. I broke a glass. I tripped and fell. Told secrets I shouldn't tell. It's funny when I first heard this, I misheard. I heard like I don't see glitz. I shouldn't tell, and I'm like, what does that mean? Like, cause she's like famous, but maybe she just like doesn't have this like same eye for like the glitz and glamour that other celebrities seem to have or something. I'm like, wow, so interesting. And then like, yeah, I was like, I told secrets I shouldn't tell. I'm like, that makes more sense. But then also like, I thought it was funny that I misheard that line specifically because I did have like there was a girl that I had like feelings for, and then but she's not gay, whatever. But still like we were friends, and then I accidentally told somebody like something that she told me that was apparently a secret, but she didn't tell me when she told me that it was a secret. And so like I wasn't aware that she felt that way about this piece of information. And so I told somebody else, and then I apologized for telling someone else, but I kind of like was jokingly like I made my apology kind of joke because I still wasn't like I didn't know how like intensely she felt about it, I guess. And so I was still kind of like playing it off as like, oh, I accidentally started a rumor when like really I told one person. And then I think like she read that and like took it seriously. And then like yeah, basically we're not friends anymore because I told a secret that I shouldn't tell. And it was so sad. Like yeah, it was devastating to me um to lose this person, but like I just like misheard the words. I thought it was funny. I stumble over all my words. I made it weird, I made it worse. Each time I step outside, it's social suicide. It's social suicide. Want to curl up and die. It's social suicide. This is again like Jupiter in the eighth house to me, where like Jupiter expands everything it touches, and then like the eighth house is death. I'm just like, God, I'm just like, I'm so embarrassing. I just want to die. Like the thought of people, Leo, like giving me attention just makes me want to die, just kill myself. I laugh at the wrong time, sat with the wrong guy, learned how to start a conversation on a website, how to flirt, talk to the sock guy, swore I was his type, because then he was making out with boys the whole night. Everything I do is tragic. Every guy I like is gay. The morning after I panic. Oh God, what did I say? That's again like a Mercury conjunct Neptune to me. Like, um, oh God, what did I say? Kind of thing. Like when you're talking to people at a party and then like the next day you're just like so caught up in your own mind about like what you said and like, oh, did I say the right thing? Should I? But like no one else is thinking about it. You're just like caught up in your own like little world, you know? And if anyone is thinking about it, they're probably thinking like, oh my god, I said something stupid and like I yeah, sometimes like when I listen to some artists like Olivia Rodrigo, this song in particular, I just want to like talk to her and be like, no one cares. Like they're probably thinking about themselves. No one's thinking about the stupid thing that you think you said. They probably thought it was like kind of funny or whatever. You're a pop star. Like people probably aren't judging all the little weird things that you say. It doesn't matter. Like just it doesn't matter. Calm down. Yeah, so I broke a glass, tripped and fell, told secrets I shouldn't tell, stumbled over all my words, made it weird and made it worse. Each time I step outside, it's social suicide. Yeah, when I'm alone, I'm fine. Saturn ruled. But don't let me out at night. It's social suicide. It's social suicide. And then I love this part. Thought your mom was your wife. Called you the wrong name twice. Can't think of a third line. Can't think of a third line is so funny to me. Like as a fellow songwriter, I'm just like, that's hilarious. Yeah, and then just in general, speaking about songwriting again, I think Mercury conjunct Neptune is like good for songwriting too because like Mercury is like words and communication, and then Neptune is this kind of like otherworldly, like kind of musical like this. So like I feel like she's good at like communicating through music. Um, then that was Ballad of a Homeschool Girl. So next up is Making the Bed. Want it so I got it. Did it so it's done. Another thing I ruined. I used to do for fun. Saturn ruled. Another piece of plastic I could just throw away. Another conversation with nothing good to say. I thought it, so I said it. Took it because I can. Another day pretending I'm older than I am. Pretending you're older than you are. Capricorn rising. Saturn ruled. Um, Another perfect moment that doesn't feel like mine. Another thing I forced to be a sign. That's interesting. That makes me think of like, okay, so Jupiter would be like, and Jupiter's kind of like religion and Neptune's spirituality. So I guess that would be more like signs would be more spiritual, kind of like looking for a sign from the universe rather than like going to a church, like organized religion kind of thing. So I guess it'd be like Mercury conjunct Neptune, trying to force things to be a sign. Um, in Aquarius too, so there's kind of like that detachment of like, is it really a sign or not? I don't care. I'm gonna like force it to be. So like kind of detaching from like the hypothetical like universe that's giving signs. Because if you're forcing something to be a sign, then you're like not really like in like connected and yeah, well sometimes I feel like I don't want to be where I am, getting drunk at a club with my fair weather friends, um like 11th house friendship Scorpio ruled by Mars in the 12th house, like so her friends would kind of be like people who would like sabotage her in given the chance, you know what I mean, like fair weather friends, um push away all the people who know me the best, self sabotage. But it's me who's been making the bet. So she's like admitting that like some of the things that are going wrong in her life are like kind of her fault. I mean, I'm not saying that as like me, like I'm blaming her for these things going wrong. I'm just saying like this is what I'm seeing in her chart. Okay, I'm not saying like she's a bad person and like shouldn't be going to clubs and drinking with people, even though they're not like her closest friends or whatever. I'm so tired of being the girl that I am. Every good thing has turned into something I dread. Saturn ruled like everything. You can't just enjoy something, it has to turn into like, oh, how can I monetize this? How can I make this into like a business? And then it becomes like something that you hate. And I'm playing the victim so well in my head, but it's me who's been making the bed. He's been making the bed, pull the sheets over my head, making the bed. And every night I wake up from this one occurring dream. I don't really know where dreams go. I would say like I guess dreams are 11th house. So then 11th house ruled by Scorpio ruled by Mars, in the 12th house. So then we end up back in the 12th house anyway. But then her 12th house is ruled by the Jupiter in Leo, which is ruled by the Sun in Pisces, which is ruled by Jupiter in Leo, which is ruled by Jupiter in Pisces. Okay. And every night I wake up from this one recurring dream where I'm driving through the city and the brakes go out on me. I can't stop at the red light. I can't swerve off the road. I read somewhere it's because my life feels so out of control. And I tell them that I tell someone I love them just as a distraction. They tell me that they love me like I'm some tourist attraction. They're changing my machinery and I just let it happen. I got the things I wanted. It's just not what I imagined. 11th house is, in addition to friends and stuff, it's also like dreams and hopes. And yeah, so like she has these ideals about like what her life is gonna look like. Like she wants to be a famous actress and a singer, and then she does all these things, and like it's not going the way that she imagined they would. Which is kind of like 11th house ruled by Mars in the 12th house to me, but like she was the one who wanted these things and like went after them, and like so at the end of the day, like the way that her life is a result of her actions, you know? Sometimes I feel like I don't want to be where I am, counting all of the beautiful things I regret. All the beautiful things I regret. Venus conjunct Chiron. But it's me who's been making the bed, me who's been making the bed, publishing stuff in my head, me who's been making the bed. Okay, so then next up we have logical. Master manipulator, God, you're so good at what you do. Come for me like a savior, and I'd put myself through hell for you. Um, Manipulation and like, especially master manipulator, sounds like Pluto conjunct Mars, or Mars conjunct Pluto, I guess would be the proper way to say it. Mars conjunct Pluto in the 12th house. Like manipulation being about power. God, you're so good at what you do. Come for me like a savior, and I'd put myself through hell for you. Put myself through hell, where like she's her own enemy, hidden enemy, self sabotage. Hear all the rumors lately that you always denied. And I fell for you like water falls from the February sky. But now the current's stronger. No, I couldn't get out if I tried. Is there any water? She doesn't really have a lot of water. Sun in Pisces. It's her only water placement, so it's interesting. But you convinced me, baby. It was all in my mind. Um, and now you got me thinking 2 plus 2 equals 5, and I'm the love of your life. Because if rain don't pour and sun don't shine, then changing you is possible. No love is never logical. It's a lot of like 12th house self sabotage stuff. Like, you got me thinking 2 plus 2 equals 5. Like, she obviously knows 2 plus 2 isn't really 5, but she's like letting herself believe it anyway. Self sabotage, 12th house, Mars and Pluto conjunction. And then yeah, she knows, she probably is aware that she's not really the love of this person's life, but she's like letting the relationship go on anyway, which is just gonna end up causing her more pain in the end. You built a giant castle, again with a castle like vampire, with walls so high I couldn't see you. A giant castle with walls so high that you can't see. It's very Jupiter and Leo to me. The way it all unraveled and all the things you did to me. You lied, you lied, you lied. And now you got me thinking 2 plus 2 equals 5. I'm the love of your life, and if rain don't pour and sun don't shine, changing you is possible. Guess love is never logical. Um, then she adds on to that, the sky is green, the grass is red, and you mean all those words you said. I'm sure that girl is really your friend, and problems are all solvable, cause loving you is loving every argument you held over my head. Brought up the girls you could have instead, said I was too young, I was too soft, can't take a joke, can't get you off. Um, I'm just gonna say, as a lesbian who has dated men because of compulsory heterosexuality, I did not enjoy certain things that they would ask me to do. And yeah, basically, I've just never successfully given a blowjob, and it's because I wasn't attracted to these guys. Um, Whatever. I look so stupid thinking 2 plus 2 equals 5, and I'm the love of your life because the rain don't pour and sun don't shine, changing is possible. No, love is never logical. Logical, logical. Love is never logical. I know I'm half responsible. That makes me feel horrible. Self sabotage. Logical, logical. Love is never logical. I know I could have stopped it all. God, why didn't I stop it all? And then it repeats that again. So yeah, she could have. She knows she could have stopped it all, and she didn't. Um, and then she's like now in retrospect like beating herself up about it. So it's like she already let herself deal with the pain of the relationship that the relationship is causing, and then now in retrospect blaming herself for feeling the pain because she could have prevented it. Now we have Get Him Back. I love this one. This is so funny. Um One, two, three. Wait, is this the song with the drums? Classic intro. I met a guy in the summer and I left him in the spring. He argued with me about everything. He had an ego and a temper and a wandering eye. He said he's 6'2", and I'm like, dude, nice try. But he was so much fun and he had such weird friends. And he would take us out to parties and the night would never end. Another song, another club, another bar, another dance. And when he said something wrong, he'd just fly me to France. So I miss him some nights when I'm feeling depressed. I remember every time he made a pass on my friend. Again, like 11th house, friends, 11th house, Scorpio, ruled by Mars in the 12th house. The guy that she's supposedly in a committed exclusive relationship with is making passes on all her friends. Made a pass on my friend. Do I love him? Do I hate him? I guess it's up and down. That's like Cancer 7th house ruled by Libra in the 10th house where she's like kind of going back and forth like, do I love him? Do I hate him? I guess it's up and down on the scales. Like, how do I feel about this like relationship? If I had to choose, I would say right now I want to get him back. I want to make him really jealous, want to make him feel bad. Oh, I want to get him back because then again I really miss him and it makes me real sad. Oh, I want sweet revenge and I want him again. I want to get him back, back, back. I like the way that she plays with like language in this one. Where like Mercury conjunct Neptune, where like get him back is kind of there's like two meanings to it, where it's like she wants to get him back as in like they were dating and she misses him and she wants to like get him back to being like her boyfriend and she's his girlfriend, get him back into a relationship. But also like get him back as in like get revenge on him for like hitting on all her friends behind her back or like breaking up with her or whatever. Whatever she's like currently upset about, like she wants to get back at him as in get him back. So I think that's like that shows up in the Mercury Neptune conjunction where she can like play with language like that. And then yeah, so I write him all these letters and then I throw them in the trash because I miss the way he kisses and the way he made me laugh. And then I think in the same interview that I was talking about earlier with the Perfect All American Tits, she said this line she said, I miss the way he kisses and the way he grabbed my ass. And then she changed it because it was like too much. But yeah, I pour my little heart out, but as I'm hitting send, I picture all the faces of my disappointed friends because everyone knew all of the shit that he'd do. Said that I was the only girl, but that just wasn't the truth. And when I told him how he hurt me, he told me I was tripping. But I am my father's daughter, so maybe I could fix him. Sometimes the father, like, there's some debate about like where the father and the mother go in astrology. I'm gonna go father is the fourth house for now, just to make it easy. So like I am my father's daughter, so maybe I could fix him. So like her father, the fourth house is Aries, and then Aries is ruled by Mars in the 12th house. So like because of her father and like yeah, I said before like there was probably some issues there like with her family that I'm not gonna like speculate about, but like because of whatever issues with her father that she has, she thinks that she can like stay in this relationship and fix this man, and that's like that's like the root of where the self sabotage is like coming from. I am my father's daughter, so maybe I can fix him. When I get him back, I want to make him really jealous, want to make him feel bad. Oh, I want to get him back because then I'm gonna really miss him, and it makes me real sad. Oh, I want sweet revenge, and I want him again. I want to get him back, and then I want to get him back, back, back. And then she says, I want to key his car. I want to make him lunch. I want to make it break his heart. There's like, sorry, there's parentheses that are throwing me off. I want to break his heart, and be the one to stitch it up. Want to kiss his face with an uppercut. Want to meet his mom just to tell her son sucks. I want to key his car. Want to make him lunch. Want to break his heart, stitch it right back up. Want to kiss his face with an uppercut. Want to meet his mom and tell her son sucks. Yeah, want to get him back. Want to make him really jealous. Want to make him feel bad. Oh, I want to get him back. Is there anything new? I'll get him. I'll get him. I'll get him back. Get him back. Come on, come on. Woo. I'm gonna get him so good. He's not even gonna know it hit him. He's gonna love me and hate me at the same time. Get him back. Girl, you better get him back. You got it. Got it. Oh, I don't know. I got him good. I got him real good. I want to know what she was talking about there. I got him real good. Probably keyed his car or something. Anyway, um, I would take a Louisville Slugger to both headlights and slash a hole in all four tires personally, if it were me. But moving on, yeah, I don't really have anything more to say about that, I guess, besides the her like ability to play around with language. There. Love is embarrassing. Thank you. It's like taking a long time once I click on a a song. It takes a long time to actually load it. We start off talking about her friends. I told my friends you were the one after I'd known you like a month, and then you kissed some girl from high school. And I stayed in bed for like a week when you said space was what you need, waited by my phone like a goddamn fool. And now it don't mean a thing. God loves fucking embarrassing. Just watch as I crucify myself for some weird second string loser who's not worth mentioning. My God loves embarrassing as hell. Kind of okay. I'm thinking like Friends, starting with like 11th house Scorpio, ruled by Mars in the 12th house. So she's like sabotaging her own like reputation kind of with her friends, saying like, oh God, this guy's the one, we're gonna get married, blah blah blah. And then he kissed a girl from high school, and then her friends are all kind of like judging her probably about like her ability to find a good man and like judge a relationship. But then I go down to the Venus Chiron conjunction in the first house because she's like she said like I crucified myself. Like embarrassment is kind of like a wound in a way, so it's like a wound based around love and love not working out. So it's like, yeah, Venus Chiron conjunction in the first house. And now it don't mean a thing. God loves fucking embarrassing. Just watch as I crucify myself for some weird second string loser who's not worth mentioning. My God loves embarrassing as hell. And I console you while you cried over your ex-girlfriend's new guy. It's like first house, seventh house again. Like like his ex girlfriend would be like seventh from the seventh would be like the first house again. Anyway, my God, how could I be so stupid? You found a new version of me, and I damn near started World War III. Jesus, what was I even doing? Cause now it don't mean a thing. So she's just like causing damn near starting World War III. I don't know what she means by that. Let's take her at her word for it and say like she caused some people some pain with like the way that she reacted to this guy moving on. Yeah, so that's again Venus Chiron. She's like causing pain and it's like self-sabotage to Mars in the 12th house. Because now she's like embarrassed by the relationship as a whole and her reaction to it is what I'm getting. Because now I don't mean a thing. God loves fucking embarrassing. Just watch as I crucify myself for some weird second string loser who's not worth mentioning. My God loves embarrassing as hell. I give up, give up, give up everything I place my bets in. It's not worth anything. I'm giving up, but I keep coming back for more. Um, she says give up, but I keep coming back for more. No, I don't mean a thing. God loves fucking embarrassing. Just watches I crucify myself. Hey, 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 for some weird second string loser who's not worth mentioning. My God loves embarrassing as hell. Yeah, yeah, I give up, give up, give up everything. I'm planning out my wedding with some guy I'm never marrying. I'm giving up, giving up. That kind of reminds me, like, I'm gonna talk more about the um Cancer seventh house ruled by the moon in Libra. I think Libra's a sign that's ruled by Venus, which is like the planet of love and relationships. And so having the moon or whatever planet rules your seventh house in Libra, there's gonna be a big focus on relationships. I think it's easy with like the seventh house ruler in Libra to like fantasize about the potential of relationships, even if the reality of it isn't there. So like planning out my wedding with some guy I'm never marrying. I have Venus in Libra. It's in my ninth house, but it's like yeah, I've planned planned out weddings and I'm not married. Okay, love is embarrassing. Next we're moving on to the grudge. Okay, I have nightmares each week about that Friday in May. Okay, that Friday in May could be like a Taurus season or it could be Gemini season. I'm like, she has Saturn in Gemini, so this might have been like the sun going into Gemini where she has her Saturn. But anyway, that Friday in May, one phone call from you and my entire world was changed. Mercury conjunct Neptune, like one call can change your entire world. Trusting you betrayed, confusion that still lingers, took everything I loved and crushed it in between your fingers, and I doubt you ever think about the damage that you did, but I hold on to every detail like my life depends on it. My undying love, now I hold it like a grudge, and I hear your voice every time that I think I'm not enough. It's like Venus conjunct Chiron and Capricorn in the first house again, where it's like thinking that she's not enough. Like every time she thinks she's not enough, so she thinks she's not enough a lot, and now it's like she has this voice of this specific ex like partner telling her like I don't think the person told her like you're not enough for me, but like she hears his voice every time she thinks she's not enough. So yeah, Venus conjunct Chiron in the first house. And I try to be tough, but I want to scream. How could anybody do the things you did so easily? And I say I don't care. I say that I'm fine, but you know I can't let it go. I've tried for so long. It takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel strong. The arguments that I've won against you in my head, in the shower, in the car, and in the mirror before bed. Yeah, I'm so tough when I'm alone. It's like again like Saturn ruled. It's like better being alone. And then like also having arguments in your head is kind of like Mars in the 12th house to me. Um where like they're not really real. The other person like it's like in the sense that it's unaspected to the ascendant where like you can't see it like somebody else wouldn't know about the argument by you know because it's not real. But yeah, and then also like Mercury conjunct Neptune, it could be like imagining these like conversations and arguments. The arguments that I've won against you in my head, in the shower, in the car, and in the mirror before bed. Yeah, I'm so tough when I'm alone, and I make you feel so guilty, and I fantasize about a time you're a little fucking sorry, and I try to understand why you would do this all to me. You must be insecure, you must be so unhappy. And I know in my heart, hurt people, and we both drew blood, but man, those cuts were never equal. Um, so, okay, I'm thinking a couple things here. Like Moon ruling the seventh house in Libra, being like, trying to see the other person's perspective and like saying, like, how could you do this to me? You must be insecure, you must be unhappy, in order to like hurt me this way. And then we both drew blood, but those cuts were never equal. To me is like Mars conjunct Pluto in the 12th house, where like Mars is cutting and like blood and red. And then Pluto is like power. And so like even if yeah, if you're fighting with someone who's more powerful than you, like you can like both draw blood, but the cuts like one person has more power than the other, and so the cuts are never equal. I try to be tough, but I want to scream, how could anybody do the things you did so easily? And I say I don't care. I say that I'm fine, but you know I can't let it go. I've tried for so long. It takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel strong. Ooh, do you think I deserved it all? Ooh, your flowers filled with vitriol. You build me up just to watch me fall. You have everything and you still want more. That's like again the second house, eighth house axis where like she's giving everything to her partner and the partner is like taking and Jupiter's expanding, so it's like taking more and more and more. You build me up just to watch me fall. You have everything and you still want more. So like Jupiter in the eighth house. The other person has everything and they want more because Jupiter expands everything it touches, and then the eighth house is other people's stuff. I try to be tough, I try to be mean, but even after all this, you're still everything to me. And I know you don't care. I guess that that's fine, but you know I can't let it go. I've tried for so long. It takes strength to forgive, but I'm not quite. But I'm not. Yeah, strength. It takes strength to forgive, but I'm not quite sure I'm there yet. It takes strength to forgive, but I think I always think that's funny because there was one concert that she did with like Dan Nigro was on stage with her and they were like talking a little bit about how they made the album and then they were talking about the song and specifically the line "It takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel strong." And Olivia says that like she typed that in her notes app one day and she didn't know like how the tune should go for it and Dan had like one idea how it should go and she had another idea and they put both of them in and she doesn't say which one was Dan's and which one was hers. um but yeah, they're like there's two different like melodies when she says that. Like it takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel strong. I don't like that one as much. And then the other one's like, it takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel strong. Something like that. I don't know. Off the top of my head. Listen to it. But yeah, one of them is like the way Olivia thought it should go. One of them was the way Dan thought it should go. And then when they do it at the end, they're like they change it. So it's like it takes strength to forgive, but I'm not quite sure I'm there yet. And then it takes strength to forgive, but and then they just leave it. They just cut it off there at the but. And I think that's funny. And so I'm not gonna um that's gonna be the end of that analysis for that song. Next up, we have Pretty Isn't Pretty. Bought a bunch of makeup, trying to cover up my face. I started to skip lunch, stopped eating cake on birthdays. bought a new prescription to try and stay calm because there's always something missing. There's always something in the mirror that I think looks wrong. Venus conjunct Chiron in the first house, like her physical body. She thinks there's something wrong with it. She doesn't like conform to the like unrealistic beauty standards that our culture tries to shove down our throats. When pretty isn't pretty enough, what do? Everybody's keeping up, so you think it's you, or you have Chiron conjunct Venus in the first house. I could change up my body and change up my face. I could try every lipstick and every shade, but I always feel the same because pretty isn't pretty enough. You can win the battle, but you'll never win the war. It's like Mars in the 12th house, kind of, because like Mars is like battles and wars, I would say. And like yeah, just like knowing that you'll never win. You could keep fighting and fighting and you'll never win. You fix the things you hated and you still feel so insecure. And I try to ignore it, but it's everything I see. It's on the poster on the wall. It's in those shitty magazines. It's in my phone. It's in my head. It's in the boys I bring to bed. It's all around. It's all the time. I don't know why I even try when pretty isn't pretty enough. What do you do? Okay. And then she says, I bought all the clothes that they told me to buy. I chased some dumb ideal my whole fucking life. And none of it matters and none of it ends. You just feel like shit over and over and again. No, it'll never change. Pretty isn't pretty enough. Everybody's keeping up. Pretty isn't pretty enough. Pretty isn't. Um, so this like bought all the clothes that they told me to buy, chased some dumb ideal my whole fucking life. That's um I I'm thinking of like possessions being the second house, and so like she has Mars conjunct not Mars, sorry, Mercury conjunct Neptune in the second house of like items and possessions. Like she's buying all the clothes that they told her to buy. So she like has all these possessions, but none of it matters, none of it ends. So it's like conjunct Neptune, where like, what was the purpose? Like, she has all this stuff and like none of it means anything to her. It's just like something someone else told her to do. So again, like with Aquarius, there's like a little bit of a detachment from like her like personal belongings, I guess, because like they're not really the things that she wanted to get, they're things that other people told her that she should want, or things that she got to keep up a certain image or something. And then finally, we've made it 2 hours, 40 minutes into the recording. So the last song I have is Teenage Dream. Again, there's like some deluxe album singles that were released. But I'm not gonna do them. Okay, so when am I gonna stop being wise beyond my years and just start being wise? You know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Capricorn rising. Um, Saturn ruled. She's like, I think she's 20 when this album comes out. She might have been 21. When am I gonna stop being wise beyond my years? So like, yeah, just an old soul, wise beyond your years, Saturn ruled. Um, when am I gonna stop being a pretty young thing to guys? And then she also has like Venus conjunct Chiron in the first house. So it's like people see her as this like pretty young thing. Um, she's actually like a wise old soul. When am I gonna stop being great for my age and just start being good? Again, like obsession with age, obsession with like time, and like I'm young now, but I'm like older than my years, but like when am I gonna stop being great for my age, you know? A lot of focus on time and age. When will it stop being cool to be quietly misunderstood? And then I would say that's like with the her chart ruler Saturn in an invisible house. It's a house that's unaspected to the ascendant. So like she's um probably gets the sense that like people don't really understand her. So this song was written on her birthday, her 19th birthday. I don't know if it was on, it might have been about, but whatever. So she says, I'll blow out the candles, happy birthday to me. Got your whole life ahead of you, you're only 19. I got she's like so young. Like people who are older than like 30 will tell you like even your life hasn't started at 30. Like especially in astrology, that's like when you have the Saturn return, or when you're finishing up your Saturn return, hopefully when you're 30. And so it's like that's when you really like become who you are, especially for like a Saturn ruled person. So like I feel like when Olivia Rodrigo like goes through her Saturn return, she's gonna like really like come into like accepting herself more. Like we have some time before we get there, so we'll see what happens. with her career in the meantime. But anyway, yeah, I believe in her so much, and I just want the best for her. So yeah. I'll blow out the candles. Happy birthday to me. Got your whole life ahead of you. You're only 19, but I fear that they already got all the best parts of me, and I'm sorry that I couldn't always be your teenage dream. There was this song, I think it's Brutal from the first album, Sour. She says like, "Where's my fucking teenage dream?" So like she doesn't even identify with like being a person who like has a teenage dream. Like she wants a teenage dream, and then she's like apologizing that she couldn't be someone else's teenage dream. And when does wide-eyed affection and all good intentions start to not be enough? When will everyone have every reason to call all my bluffs? And when are all my excuses of learning my lessons gonna start to feel sad? Will I spend all the rest of my years wishing I could go back? So Saturn is also a planet of like learning lessons. So that's again like she's like all my excuses of learning my lessons, like um so that tells me that she is a person who like if she's going through something like a breakup that's challenging, she's the kind of person who's like, okay, at least I can learn something from this. What lesson can I take from this? And then like it does, like if you're that kind of person and like things keep going wrong, like you keep getting into relationships that aren't going well and you're like, well, okay, am I really even like learning these lessons? Like how long can I say that I'm learning lessons before it starts to be like, okay, well like actually do the damn thing that you're learning lessons about. Just get into a relationship that lasts. God damn it. It's very like Saturn ruled to be like, when are my excuses of learning my lessons gonna start to feel sad? And then like she's she says, "Will I spend the rest of my years wishing I could go back?" She's not even like old and like reminiscing about the good old days. She's still young and thinking about being older and wishing, like wondering if she will wish that she could go back when she's older. It's just like so many layers of like Saturnian, like just be 19, just go, I don't know, just calm down. You're fine. You're fine, Olivia. I'll blow out the candles. Happy birthday to me. You got your whole life ahead of you. You got your whole life ahead of you, Olivia. You're only 19. But I fear that they already got all the best parts of me. And I'm sorry that I couldn't always be your teenage dream. Um, so yeah, like with the, she talked about like getting exploited and stuff and like Saturn in the sixth house. Um, I feel like, yeah, if you spend like a lot of your childhood like working on shows, especially like shows written by other people and like acting, saying these words for like other people, and then like where am I even going with this? I don't know. Yeah, just spending your childhood working, you might feel like you only have a certain amount that you can contribute to the world, and then if you're like young and doing all this stuff from a young age, you might feel like, well, okay, I've like did all the good stuff and now it's like over and now I'm just like here taking up space. Like, what's the point of me now, you know? They all say that it gets better the more you grow. Yeah, they all say that it gets better, but what if I don't? And it's like, it's kind of funny, like they all say that it gets better. Everyone says that it gets better, but what if I'm different? What about me? What if it doesn't work for me? What if I'm just bad, you know? So yeah, it kind of does that over and over. And then, oh my gosh. Yeah, there's some like spoken. I never heard that part. I guess like Olivia and Dan are talking and they say, is this recording? And someone says, "Hi Sarsha." I think that's Dan Nigro's daughter. And then they say, "What should the next four-letter album title be? Fart?" Well, I guess so. Classic. I was thinking, I know she likes the four-letter thing, sour and guts. I was thinking for a four-letter title of this video. I don't know if I'll get there. Okay, but there it is. That was Teenage Dream. That's the last song on Guts. And so yeah, um I've been thinking about making this for a long time and just talking about her lyrics, and now I finally did it. And yeah, let me know what you think, if you want to see more like this, or if you're just like, yeah, I don't care. If you didn't care, you probably didn't watch it, so I don't care about your opinion. And you're not watching me say that now, so it doesn't matter. So I guess just like if you liked this, let me know. If you'd like to see more, let me know. Um, but yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. So if you want to check out more from me, I have other channels. I have a music channel. I wrote some Valentine's Day music, and I did a bunch of covers as well. I have another channel where I'm just doing like little vlogs, just like daily vlogs and like crocheting while I talk and just kind of more stream of consciousness like this one, but like that one I usually don't even have a topic that I just sit and start recording and start talking and whatever comes up comes up. And then I started a new crochet channel. I put up one video yesterday. I made a little thing to put my keyboard and my mouse on because I have a pink keyboard and mouse. And I needed like a mouse pad. So I made this and then I made a quick little video about it. So yeah, if you want to check out more from me, I'll put some links in the description. I did cover three Olivia Rodrigo songs on my music channel if you want to listen to those. Otherwise, I guess that's it. I'll see you next time. Still working on my James Acaster video, but that's gonna be a little bit different than this and the other videos that I've done with like celebrity birth charts because we don't have like a time for his chart. So I want to do a rectification, which is like when you like it's kind of like reverse engineering a birth chart. Like you like have someone's life and then you like figure out what time they were born. I know what day he was born, but I want to know like what time or at least what his rising sign is so I can figure out like what houses all the planets fall into. So I'm going through a lot more. Like he does have two books that I read one. I'm almost done with it actually, but and then I'm going to read the other one. But I'm also looking at like videos and like podcast appearances and stuff like that he's done just to get kind of like a more well-rounded idea of like his life and like the timeline of when things happen so I can look at like transits that were happening in his birth chart and try to figure out like oh Saturn moved into like Capricorn on this day and then like his life started going like what house do I think Saturn's in, you know? So yeah, I'm working on that. It's gonna be really different to this, but yeah, hopefully it'll be fun. So stick around and watch out for that. Otherwise, if you don't want to, then it's been nice knowing you. Okay, I'm just rambling now. Bye. So yeah, it's good stuff. I sound like Chris Brennan. It's good stuff.